Within the pages of a mystical storybook, a tapestry of ever-changing tales unfolds. Welcome to the Chronicles of the DaMmed, a captivating series that weaves together realms of unimaginable wonders and haunting mysteries.
Venture into a world where the very fabric of reality is in flux, where heroes and heroines navigate shifting landscapes and face new perils with each turning of the page.
From the darkest corners of horror to the realms of high fantasy, each trilogy of episodes reveals a different theme, crafting a unique narrative tapestry. Discover the secrets of ancient civilizations, eldritch powers that defy comprehension, and the harrowing depths of the human psyche.
Traverse enchanted forests where legends come alive and mythical creatures roam. Ascend towering citadels where power and politics shape the fate of nations. Plunge into the depths of unexplored abysses where the mysteries of the cosmos await your discovery.
With every triad of tales, a new chapter unfurls, inviting you to embark on a fresh adventure. Each theme, distinct and captivating, will transport you to a world beyond imagination, where magic and danger entwine.
Will you delve into the depths of untold secrets, or ascend to the heights of heroic legend? The choice is yours as you immerse yourself into the boundless possibilities of this ever-evolving storybook.
Welcome to Chronicles of the DaMmed.
Into the realm of ever-changing tales. Welcome to the Chronicles of the DaMmed. With each session, a new chapter unfolds, revealing wonders and dangers unimagined. Embrace the journey, for heroes will rise, destinies will be written, and the storybook will come up alive before your very eyes. Prepare to be enchanted as we venture forth into a world where imagination knows no bounds. I am your story weaver, and let the story begin. Tonight, our adventurers are not what you would normally expect. They are not fairy tale characters. Rather, they are just the players that come together around a table to play a game of RPG. Magi Mysterium, using the Magi Mysterium. And as we sit down, get our dice out, and as we sit at this table, a very familiar book appears before Chris, Elliot, and Ben. One that as soon as I reach up and flip open the cover, everybody's visions, the colors begin to swirl around the room. First, you guys see white, then red, then green, then purple, then back to red, then black to blue, and then all of a sudden, you guys see a clock in the middle of all of you, as the clock, but the hands of the clock are going backwards. They're not going forwards, they're going backwards. And it starts off slow, but as the longer you guys are either entranced by the colors, you guys watch as the hands on this clock begin to spin ever so faster and faster and faster, until the clock is no more. And you guys find yourselves on your hands and knees, with your hands on touching cobblestone. And the first smell you smell is seawater. As you all stand up and kind of dust off the dirt that has appeared now on your pants, and your hands for that matter. As you dust it off, you guys look around, and that's when you guys begin to notice a huge change. You guys begin to see people walking up and down the street, but there are no signs of automobiles. Everybody's sitting in horse-drawn carts, wearing outfits of either suits or simple dresses. You don't see any big fluffy dresses, or for that matter, you guys notice immediately, almost immediately, that your clothes are kind of stand outing into this wherever you guys are at. As you notice, as people kind of first they take a look at you, and then there's that double take of like, who are these guys? Go ahead, and I'll have you guys roll a straight D12.
Alrighty, D12.
Okay.
Okay, I'm gonna go from the top. Ben, what'd you get?
I rolled a 7.
Okay, Chris.
I rolled a 3.
Okay, Kara.
A 10.
Okay, Elliot.
I got a 9.
Okay, Kara, you're the first one to notice. Well, although Elliot's not too far behind to notice this as well. Kara, as you look up and down the street, you look and you see an overhang sign that in front of one of the buildings across the street. It obviously tells that you can see that this is a store. And you look through one of the windows and it appears to be like an outfit or a clothing store. But the first two words you pick up on the sign are Madame and Mademoiselle.
Okay. So after this is a female clothing store.
And then you notice that there is a men's clothing store. Literally two buildings down and one building like right across the street. So it'd be like on the same street you guys would be on. There's a men's clothing store just right down the street.
You guys want to go to that one?
Yeah. I mean, I'll good. Yeah.
I'd probably stand out if I
Wait,
went
do we
into
even have the funds for this?
Where
Yeah, I'm gonna
are
pat my
we?
pockets and see if I have my wallet with me. That probably
Okay.
won't work here, but
Yeah, same
Nope.
here.
Elliot, do you have your wallet on your person?
it's right next to me, but not in my pocket.
I actually do have my wallet with me.
Okay, Elliot, you can feel the wallet in your back pocket. Ben, do you have your wallet on your person?
I do actually.
Okay. Ben, you feel your wallet in your back pocket. Chris? Okay, Chris,
No.
you do not have your wallet. Kara, I think you said it.
I do have my
Okay.
wallet.
You do open it up, and whatever you guys open up to see on the inside of your wallet, whatever coins, dollars, whatever you guys have, that's what you guys have
Oh, I'm trying.
on your person.
I got a buck.
Curse carrying a card.
Okay.
Yeah, I got a
I
buck
got-
and a card.
I got a bunch of credit cards and my military ID and my driver's license.
Oh, I'm not the only poor one because none of that's gonna work.
Yeah, I only have a
Probably.
buck, so if I gotta help out with y'all, I don't have much to give.
Shit.
Could trade the clothes we're wearing if they'll take them.
If they'll
Try.
take them.
Anybody have any like a watch on them or something?
Not really. I don't.
I mean, I've got my necklace, which I really don't want to part with. No offense. A couple of stones and a crystal.
You could say they're diamonds. That works.
And
This
get
don't look
arrested?
like no diamond.
Where are
Those
we
don't look like
anyway?
no diamond. Yeah,
I don't know. It
don't
looks
know.
weird here.
But if I'm reading the sign right, Madam and Mademoiselle, that's French.
Are we in France?
Should I ask somebody?
Bonjour.
Do you speak French?
No
No.
idea what French is.
As you say that, Elliot, you notice that there is a boy. He's skipping down the road. Appears to be chasing a ball of some sort that happened to roll right in front of you guys. He's kind of skipping, and he happened to skip past you as you guys were talking amongst yourselves.
Hi, excuse me.
You can tell that he's at like a loss for words, and is clearly startled by you guys. Just like yeah.
Hey, I'm really sorry. I hit my head pretty bad. What year is it right now?
The year. Sorry guys, I can't do accents as well as Aaron. He takes a second, kind of poses himself. The year is 1832.
Okay,
And
I
then-
was right.
Pourquoi?
That's totally the year it is. Thank you very much. You can go ahead and go keep playing. Thank you.
And he runs down chasing after his ball.
Did that little French kid just say 1832?
Yeah, I'm really worried about what we're gonna do if we mess with too much stuff here.
Oh.
Okay, let's process this.
Yeah, we
Okay.
should get changed. Figure out how to pay for these clothes and get changed immediately before we mess up the timeline,
Screw it. It's a little.
or get jumped for whatever we look.
I'm
weird,
more worried
assuming.
about that. I'm more worried about that, considering we don't even know what city we're in.
Yeah. Can I see any kind of like town square sign or something that like says where we are?
Does my phone work?
No. No. Elliot, as you are looking around, you turn around and you realize that you guys are sitting, like literally your backs have been sitting this entire time to the open ocean. You guys are sitting on the dock of whatever you guys have been at. You guys have been
Then
sitting
you
with your
swim.
backs to the ocean.
So somewhere with water.
Well, that's about 2/3 of France.
Yeah. Assuming
Then
it's
can you
even
swim?
actually France, because a lot of places speak French. I don't know about. I don't know
Yeah,
this one here.
if this is 1832, actually no, there's really not a lot of places that speak French other than France.
Okay, so we narrowed it down a little bit.
Yeah, but we are kind of standing out like sore thumbs. I mean, I'm wearing
Very much.
jeans and a t-shirt.
I'm
which
wearing
is
pajamas,
definitely not fit.
so
Yeah,
which
I
is
am
definitely
too.
not feminine in this era, and I'm pretty sure I don't want to go to the loony bin here. Thanks.
That is
Yeah,
actually
that's
a big concern
concerning.
for us. Yes, and not just you, all of us. So
Ooh, do you think I should wear the same thing too? Then I'm kind of
we can try and see if they'll take
probably.
we can try and see if these guys will take credits.
Oh god.
Yeah, if it's what it takes, though, we gotta get out of here.
Yeah, we've gotta. We do stick out way too much. So
How about us men go and get our dress our clothing first, and then Kara, you can go in and into the Madame shop and get yours, because they're probably not going to sell anything to you in the men's
It's-
store.
Hey, look, we're both gonna be cross-dressing. It's okay. We'll get through this.
Yeah.
As
honey.
you guys are sitting there, you guys see stepping out in front of the clothing store. You see a gentleman kind of like, Americans, and
Yeah.
he's like waving
Just-
you guys over.
I try and I'm gonna
I'll
try.
walk over.
speak some French that I remember in high school. Bonjour, monsieur. Comment ça va?
And if we can understand them, they can understand us. Let's go.
Americans and French, it is the same in English. It's the same. Okay. Hello. I go up with Chris to the gentleman.
I'll follow since they said Americans.
Yeah. I'm following, and I'm actually kind of looking like over my shoulder and like kind of looking around like I am totally lost. Because I am.
Yeah.
So Kara, roll me a d12 then.
Oh shit.
Oh shit.
If you're looking
That's
over
a
your
7.
shoulder, a 7? Okay. As you're glancing over, as everybody goes into the shop, you take one final glance and you see probably about, I don't know, 20 or so paces across the street, you see a figure wearing a dark colored suit, a top hat of sorts. You can't really get a good glance at his face as his coat appears to be hiding his face, but you do catch like that he is an older man. You do manage to catch his eyebrows, and they are white before entering the shop. So, as you guys enter the shop, you see a gentleman sitting. He's the gentleman that waved you over, and I've been waiting hours for you guys to get here. Come on. I have no time. I have many things to do, and and you guys take forever. Yes. Yes. You have questions?
You've been waiting for us?
Hello, monsieur. Do we know you?
Yeah, did we have an appointment or something?
Me.
No. A gentleman came before you. He called himself the benefactor, and he said that he had some friends, Americans, and said that you guys would be coming along shortly, and that I needed to have outfits ready for you guys. I'm assuming.
Yes, of course. Thank you so much.
Yeah, must have been.
Absolutely. It's been a very trying morning. So yes, you say our suits and clothing are ready?
They're not ready because I needed to do measurements and stuff.
Of course.
I try to push Ben closer so he can get his measurements first.
Touch me.
So this gentleman, he's only about maybe 5 foot, like
Shorter than
at
my
his
wife?
tallest.
Holy crap, that's possible.
With
Back then, yeah.
But
Hey, I'm the same height.
But he's got like a lot of different like pieces of yarn and ribbon hanging off of him as he walks over to because Ben got pushed into his path. He grabs Ben first. You first. Come on. I have no time. Come on.
Okay.
As he drags you into the back room, give me a straight D12.
D12. I got an 8.
Yeah, sweet.
Okay. As you are being dragged into the back room, you look down and you see out of the corner of your eye a hoodie that is a Superman hoodie, zip up, laying on the top of a pile of clothes. As before you are dragged back into the, before you're dragged in front of a bunch of mirrors. They're 6 foot tall mirrors, maybe even they're probably a little bit taller, as he kind of sizes you up and I need bigger. And so he like pushes the set of mirrors aside and reaches out and grabs these big, huge mirrors. They're more like 8 feet tall as he pulls them in. And he goes, now look into the mirrors, and when you're done, say done, and I will come back and get you. And he just leaves.
Okay. I just stare ahead into the mirrors.
Okay, give me a D20, please.
D20. I'm using my good Raven's Nest dice.
There you go.
I got an 18.
An 18.
Yes.
Ooh. Okay.
I don't like
Okay.
that.
No, you'll like this one. Okay, so Ben, give me 2 colors off the top of your head.
Green and yellow.
Green and yellow. Okay. You stare into the mirrors. As you stare into the mirrors, green and yellow colors begin to form and begin to appear. A dark green coat appears and seems to come out of the mirror, and it just seems to just come across, lay across, like if you hold out your arms, it slides on, perfectly fit. Followed by a yellow vest that comes over with a white button-up shirt and with dark green slacks and black shoes. You feel around in your pockets, and you gain the knowledge of a locksmith. So now I need you to attribute 8 attribute points to your character sheets, as you now are a locksmith.
Very well.
Ooh.
Okay, you gain all the knowledge of what a locksmith would be, so how a lock would work, how tools would open and close doors. You would understand basic on how doors, how much force would require to open a door, etc., etc. As you are sitting there admiring your new suit, you hear a patter of feet come up. Oh, beautiful, beautiful. Oh, so beautiful. And he kind of pulls you really quickly. He drags you, Ben, back out into the main room, and he puts Ben out in the middle of the room, and he, next.
I walk forward, and as I push Ben, I might as well go next.
Okay, he grabs Chris, takes him to the back. Chris, I also need you to make me a straight D12 check.
6.
Okay, you catch the same Superman hoodie on your way to the back. He once again pulls you in front of mirrors, and all right, I need you to look into the mirrors. When you are done, let me know, or I will come back in 2 minutes' time, and I will pull you back like I did with your friend. So, goodbye. And he jumps back out into the main. You hear
bye-bye and then look in the mirror.
Okay, I need you to roll me a D20.
12.
12. Okay. Chris, I also need you to also pick 2 colors of your choice.
Silver and blue.
Silver and blue. Okay. As you're staring into the mirror, colors of silver and blue begin to flash around. Before coming out is a silver coat, as it drapes around your arms, fits perfectly, no adjustments needed. A dark blue vest appears with a white shirt, and it comes over you, fits you perfectly. You also get silver slacks and dark blue dress shoes. As you admire your suit, you also begin to feel like you're picking up on smart social cues, as you are a social scientist from that era, meaning that you are able to pick up on social cues from other people. It's a little bit harder with this group, but if you are in unfamiliar groups, you're instantly able to kind of pick up like other people's cues, how their body movements. If they're hiding something, it's a lot easier for you to spot than anybody else. And behaviorisms, you're able to pick up on that again more quickly. If somebody's trying to hide something from you, again, you can pick up it right away.
So I can read people easier.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And then I also need you to attribute 8 points into your sheet. As the man comes back out, magnifique, and he grabs you real quick by your hand, drags you back out into the main area, and he goes, next.
I step forward, seeing Chris come out, because I was just like, okay, I guess this is safe.
Okay. As he kind of comes behind you, come on, as he kind of directs you into the back. I also need you to give me a D12.
No.
You see something red and blue. You're not quite sure what it is. As he directs you into the back, he stands you in front of the same mirrors and says, all right, like the other two before, I'm going to explain to you. I need you to look into the mirror, and either A, you can, once you are done looking into the mirror, you say done, or you come back in 2 minutes time and I will come grab you.
Okay.
As he, okay, bye, and he backs back out. And
I look into the mirror.
okay, I need you to roll me a D20, please.
15.
Yes, Chris.
Okay.
You said 15?
Yes, 15.
Oh, okay. As you look into the mirror, you begin to see black and gray colors begin to swirl across the mirror. The first thing that jumps out is a gray shirt. As it comes around, I'll leave it up to you. Would you like a shirt or like a slack, or would you like a kind of like a slim, not puffy looking dress? I will leave that up to you.
Knowing the time, females wearing male clothing was very, very, very frowned upon. Unfortunately, as I went stab them in the eye. That's the hang up, is because, like, me personally, I would take to wearing the male clothing.
Okay.
Any day of the week.
Okay.
But I also have survival instinct of I don't want to stand out since I am clearly feminine with androgynous leaning features. So, like, if there's something that can bind my chest, I would wear male clothing. But typically the bindings of that day and age were not comfortable and very hard to breathe in, and so it's probably gonna have to be feminine clothes. Sorry, this is how my mind works on that. Survivability. What's going to draw the less attention? A female in male clothing or a female in female clothing? So, I'm going to go with the one that would draw less attention.
One moment, technical difficulties.
Oh.
Please stand by with us.
You're quiet now.
You're like not. I can't hear you.
Sorry about that. Just letting everyone know that we're still having some technical difficulties. Please bear with us. Well, while we are waiting for our waiting for Ethan to get back on here, how about we all take this opportunity? Let's talk about a little bit of the end of the campaign. Well, our first one, the first one ever
Yes.
for all of us.
Yeah.
Very emotional.
Yeah, very emotional. So, how do you guys feel about that? I'm not kidding. I was a little on the verge of some tears.
Yeah,
I did cry.
Yeah, I cried after the fact.
I did cry. Like, oh my god.
I was happy how our GM did it, honestly.
Yeah.
Bringing
Oh, yeah.
all of them
Caleb
back.
did a
Getting everybody
great
together.
job. I'm not kidding.
that-
I was cracking up when you, Kara, got to have Bakira Wolf out again.
Yeah. Yeah, I almost cried there.
Oh, I was so excited to play Bakira one last time.
Oh,
Ooh.
is he back, ladies and gentlemen?
Right, sorry about that.
You're good.
Had some technical issues, but they have now been resolved. Okay, so as I was saying, you approach the mirror, you are looking into it, and you begin to see gray and black colors begin to swirl in the mirror. And as you are sitting there looking at it, excuse me, Kara. Gray shirt appears out of the mirror, wraps around, and you notice that it is a not nice looking, but it's definitely something that has some wear and tear in it, a little bit. Black slacks appear, and popping out as the last with a pair of black slacks, and coming out of the mirror you see a white apron as it comes out, lands on you, and then as it ties up, you notice you begin to see a whole bunch of blacksmith tools appear on your hip, as you are a blacksmith, and these clothes are what you would be wearing is if you were a blacksmith. Also attribute 8 points to your character sheet, and you have all the knowledge of how swords, knives, weapons are made. You can identify very quickly damage type of a weapon. If something were to be like a piece of wood were to get struck, you could tell if it was a sword or a knife. So as he comes in the back, oh, magnifique, magnifique, as he quickly grabs you, pulls you into the back room, and he looks at you, Elliot. Last one, yes, yes.
Yes, and I step forward.
As he guides you into the back. Come on, come on. No time, no time. as he directs you into the back. Also give me a straight D12.
Okay. 6.
Okay. You also see the red and blue hoodie laying on top of a pile of other clothes before being brought into the back, and brings you to stand in front of the mirrors. And he goes, "All right. In front of you, you have the mirrors. I will come back in 2 minutes' time, or until you tell me that you are ready. Look into the mirrors, and your outfit will appear before you. Yes?"
Okay.
And okay, magnifique, as he steps back out, as he heads back out into the main hall. Elliot, give me a D20, please.
Okay. 18.
Reroll, please.
14.
Okay. You stare into the mirror, and colors of green and brown begin to swirl in the mirror. Takes a minute, but soon a green shirt pops out and comes on. Perfect fit. Brown slacks, brown shoes appear. Followed by a brown apron that pops out. As it lands on you, and you look around, and you begin to see various glass vials and different plants, as you have taken an apothecary.
Ooh.
And you know all manners of plants, which ones are poisonous, which ones are edible, which ones, and you can even identify them not just by sight, but also by smell. So if someone concocts them into a potion, you can instantly know what ingredients make up that particular potion. If you have the ingredients set on hand, you can make any potion that could cure, or you know which potions can cure and which potions can harm. I also need you to attribute 8 points to your character sheet.
Okay.
As the owner comes back in and goes, "Oh, all these outfits are just magnifique, magnifique," as he brings you, escorts you back into the main room. And he goes, no, benefactor also had these," and he puts out 4 envelopes. And you guys look at, and they're sitting there on the countertop with your name on the front of every envelope.
I will hesitantly take the one with my name on and open it
Yeah,
up.
I'll take mine.
Okay.
Same here.
Okay. Kara, are you taking yours?
Yep.
Okay. You open up. Are you guys opening them up, or are you guys just looking at them?
I'm gonna
I'm
open mine
opening
up.
mine.
Okay. First thing you notice is that this is a very, despite it being a envelope, it has some weight to it. This is very rich parchment. This is very thick parchment. You open up the envelope. It's not just like a rip across. It is a seal, meaning that nobody else has opened up these. That whoever gave you these has stamped it and has let nobody else open it. So as you pull on that tab, the seal opens up, and you guys have an invitation. As you guys open up, it has "Dear," followed by your name. So "Dear Ben," "Dear Chris," "Dear Kara," "Dear Elliot." You have been invited to join me and my group of friends up at my estate. Please come. You just present this invitation to the gate guard, and you will be let in. Please arrive no later than late or early evening, as once it reaches the 8 p.m. hour or early evening hour, you will you will be not allowed to come in. Signed,
Okay.
signed, the Count on the bottom. And
The Count. Who's the Count?
Oh, Dracula.
Anyways.
All right, let's go. We should probably hurry. I don't know how long we have.
I want to turn to the shop owner real quick. Monsieur, I have a question.
yeah, I'm very busy.
Okay, it'll be quick. What city are we in? Where are we in lovely France?
Marseille. The beautiful
Oh.
port town of Marseille.
Oh, okay, thank you. Oh, I turned to everybody else. Where is this? Where is this? Invitation at? Where are we supposed to go? I'm assuming it's just outside the city.
That is an estate by the Count, so we ask where the Count lives, and I'm pretty sure
You got an invitation to the Count, and you hear. So that's what that is. The Count just lives up the hill. It will take you. It's about It's a short little walk from here. It's the biggest mansion on top of the hill. You can't possibly miss it. Now, if you'll excuse me, I'm very busy. As he.
Thank you.
Thank you, Monsieur. Au revoir.
Thank you.
Au revoir.
I'm gonna walk out before he kicks me out.
Yeah, I rush out there.
Well,
I'm holding my hat and I rush out.
and I looked at Chris and I'm like, so you're gonna be jealous on what skills I got?
I'll get to kick you.
You guys are all gonna be jealous of
No,
mine.
you probably don't want to kick me.
What's yours, Elliot?
I'm an apothecary.
Oh, you can get
I'm
us
like
some good.
an alchemist. Yeah, I do the
Get some
brewing.
drugs.
I'm a blacksmith.
I
Oh,
dislike you.
cool. You
I,
can make us
um,
swords and stuff.
I kind of look in.
dislike you.
I'm a locksmith, I guess. Pretty cool.
What are you, Chris?
I'm a social scientist.
You're
Right, lie to me now, honey.
Oh yeah,
that's
don't be
nice.
surprised if they call you like oh, there's a bunch of different names for you where you are, Chris. But yeah, you're gonna probably get asked if you know like Voltaire or some other famous philosopher, maybe even Victor Hugo.
So
I have
we're
no idea who
just
those
a
are.
bunch of normal working people, and we got invited to a mansion or manor.
Would we really call us normal with how we got here and all of this and
Well-
how we got these clothes?
Yeah, I'm also not looking forward to meeting a count because I don't feel. You know what? Maybe being a vampire wouldn't be that bad, but
Why do you figure he's a vampire?
because his name is the Count.
He's not.
Uh,
He's not Dracula.
Don't make fun of my
It could
ancestors there,
be.
Ben.
I'm not making fun of your ancestor, but your ancestor was not a vampire.
No, he just had very principles that I enjoy.
Yeah. Hey, we all got our hobbies. I'm just okay, guys. I don't think this is a vampire. But if we
I bet
do,
he is, and I'm gonna start walking.
We probably shouldn't keep the Count waiting if he's expecting us.
No, of course not. Should we get him a gift?
Ben,
with what?
That's fair.
You
That's
picked
fair.
up some
Okay.
flowers on the way there, and we'll yeah.
I don't see.
can
Do I
start
see any
heading up
flowers?
the hill.
I just-
Oh
I
my
ju-
Yeah,
life.
I'm
I
already
just start
going.
following. I'm following everybody.
As we're walking, I am looking around because I am not familiar with this place. So
Sure. Make me a brains check.
all right, so it'll be a D10, and that's a 2.
Everybody seems. I will say you do notice that everybody's not like eyeing you guys suspiciously as you guys were before. They seem to just, as you guys are walking up the hill, they're actually like a couple of them actually are like either tipping their cap or like waving to you guys as you guys are walking past. As they seem to kind of take you more in, but you don't notice anything abnormal out of anybody as you're walking up.
Good. They don't care that my hair's yellow, and I'm gonna look around too.
Sure. Also make me a brains check.
Okay, so that's legendary. And I got a 1.
Okay, same thing. You
I think
walk
I'm
up
so cool
again.
right now.
Again, you see people meeting and greeting you, but you don't see anything that would cause suspicion.
Matches
And
my real brains level.
Can I, GM? Would I be able to look around, see if I recognize any landmarks of Marseille at this time? Not.
Go ahead, make a brains check.
Okay, brains check for me. That is E. That's a legendary for me.
Yeah, I'm jealous of my wife, so I'm not paying attention.
All right, GM. I rolled a 3 out of 4.
Okay. You look around. Nothing seems to be jumping out of you as far as like historical landmarks. You do know that as you are approaching the hill, that this is what you would know to be where like the count or people of nobility would live. You don't know who lives here, although you do get a sense that like this, whoever is here is the ruling patron of this town. As you guys are walking up this hill, that you do realize that this, like whoever you're going to, is like the big bad honcho of this town.
Yeah. I actually also want
I
to
feel so
do-
underdressed now.
yeah. Do I notice any like flowers that could come in handy for my apothecary skills that I have now on the way there? Or any like herbs, like plant life?
No, unfortunately, as you're walking up the hill, you do realize that they have like paved, so any sort of like wildlife, they don't appear like there's no plants, nothing on the street that would be like nothing than other maybe common weeds or like flowers, but like they're nothing that would help aid you in apothecary.
All right.
That is until you reach the gates. Upon reaching the gate, you see this ginormous mansion, easily another short walk from the front gates to the mansion itself. The mansion is at least 3 to 4 stories tall. There are numerous windows on each level. A grand staircase splits the front entryway, so you can either go left or right up a twirling staircase. There's also a staircase that goes down to a lower door that sits on the front door of the house. You don't know how many rooms are on the inside, but if you were to quickly count the windows, you see that there are about 10 windows to each different floor. Just on the front side of the house. You're not having counted the back nor the sides. You approach the gate and you see a gentleman, probably early 30s, wearing a black suit, short little tie, black slacks, black shoes, and wearing a white shirt with a gray undercoat or a gray vest. As he approaches, or as you approach him, do you have an invitation?
I show him
Yeah.
I show my invitation.
Oh, okay. And as he grabs the invitation, he looks over. He actually turns the invitation over to see the seal, and he goes, "Thank you for joining us." As he tucks the invitations, all 4 of them, into his jacket pocket, as he opens the door, and he goes, "Welcome to the mansion of Monte Cristo." As he opens up the door, as you guys are standing in the shadow of the mansion of the County Monte Cristo.
I look to everybody else and whisper, "Did they just say what I think he just said?"
I have no idea who that is.
You do you not read a book?
No! I don't know how I'm so smart now.
Kanamani Crystal, very famous person. Basically, GM, am I allowed to give him a rundown of the history of the Kanamani Crystal?
No.
Okay.
As your knowledge of Monte Cristo has changed now that you guys are in it.
Oh,
What's that history?
I'm not sure anymore of anything. Up is down, down is up. Chickens can fly, pigs can swim. I don't
And you
know
became
anymore.
the Riddler.
Yeah, somehow that happened too.
Hey, I'm wearing green too. Mine's just green and brown.
I was thinking of Pam and the Green Bay Packers when I was in that standing in front of the mirror. I don't know why.
Okay. Should we go into the main entrance?
Yeah, I'll go in first, guys.
I'm gonna watch the butler though.
The butler is just standing by the front gate. Like he's got a job to stand there and just watch the gate.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, I go up to the main door and I
As you approach the main door, there are 2 sets of butlers on either side, and as you approach, they open up the doors for you.
Okay. Yeah.
You step inside and go ahead, Kara.
I feel really underdressed for this now. Oh.
You hear the butlers. You hear the butler say. You hear the butlers. One of the butlers whisper down towards you, Kara. You're not underdressed. Last week we had a little boy come in and was playing, and he was covered in mud from head to toe. Trust me, I don't think you're underdressed.
Thank you.
As you step in, you guys are walking across white marble floors. You see a grand staircase that leads up onto the second floor. With the stairs are white with wood brown steps. You notice that the railing does kind of wrap around into many of doors. You're not sure if the bedrooms, studies, whatever, but you look up and you can count that there are 4 doors immediately off to the right as soon as you reach the top staircase, and that there are 6 on the left, and that if you were to go straight off the staircase as soon as you reach the top landing, that there are 8 doors heading straight off the staircase. This place is massive. As you guys step inside, you see you see about 12 people. Either you see a couple conversing here, you see some conversing here, but just people having conversations. You see one gentleman over by himself with a glass of some sort of liquid. You're not sure what he's drinking, but he's off by himself, just sitting on at what appears to be like a nearby table and chairs, as he just seems to be kind of observing, looking around, kind of noticing everybody doing, talking or discussing business, whatever they might be doing.
I kind of look around and I kind of turn to everybody. Okay, so we should probably go find the Count and make our introductions because it's, polite, and he's obviously nobility, and he's gonna get really mad if we don't do that.
Yeah, I feel so out of my element here.
Tell me about it. Somehow I'm a locksmith. I kind of look around and I don't see any help. Like you
go ahead and make a brains check.
Brains check. Okay. That is 4. Oh, 4 out of 4.
Okay, you see numerous people walking to and fro across the marble floor, mainly butlers, as they are serving food and drink of a various size. You do notice that as they're beginning their rounds, they have now begun to include you into their various foods and drink offerings. They are offering you what appears to be sampler foods and various drinks in various glasses, ranging from wines to some alcohol, stronger alcohol like liqueur, and
I'm
whether
going
you
for
take
a liqueur.
Okay, one of the butlers just reaches up, hands you a liqueur, and makes his rounds.
I kind of stop one of them and ask, "Where's the the Monsieur Count. We would like to make our introductions to him.
The Count de Monte Cristo. Count de Monte Cristo. The Count is attending to some business real quick. I will let our head butler know, and that once he is finished with his business, that he may make himself, or that way you guys may present himself and introduce yourselves.
Of course, thank you. And I can I see? Would I be so kind if I could have a glass of the wine that you are serving?
Sure. Pours you a glass of red or white.
Red, please.
Pours you a glass of red wine, hands you across, looks over to you, Elliot.
I'll take some white wine.
Hands you a glass of white wine.
Thank you.
And then proceeds with his. And you hear, I'll take water. You hear another butler comes out with a glass of water, hands it to you. It's like these people are always around with serving trays, with food. Like you get the sense that if you wanted something, you just simply have to yell it out, and it will be served to you.
A pony.
Yeah. Don't.
I'm sorry, but if you want to ride the ponies are outside on the front lawn. They're grazing right now, but I'm sure that in 2 hours' time, you may go for a ride on one if you so desire.
Oh my god, guys, I like it here so far.
We're not riding the horses.
I know.
I kind of just, I'm glancing around like, and sipping the liqueur. I'm not overly indulging in it. I'm just like occasionally sipping on it. Like
you take a sip of the liqueur, and it instantly, like as soon as it hits the back of your throat and begins to go down, it has like a nice soft burn as it goes down. Makes you, as soon as you hit your stomach, it's nice, warm, makes you feel really comfortable. This is really good liqueur that you are drinking. Like
$700 bottle.
What's that?
We cannot afford
$700 bottle.
No, that would be putting it. No, more than that.
You
take a. Go ahead, Ben.
I was gonna walk over to Ellie and take some sipping of my wine, just kind of like see how this tastes.
You both take a sip of your wine. The wine doesn't burn. It's a nice sweet wine. Like it's like grapes freshly pressed. Like this isn't made like, it's not diluted. You get the full grapes, berries, whatever you are sipping on. You can taste the bitter. You can taste the alcoholic taste in it, but you get the sense that this is more of a fruit wine, intending to entertain guests for long periods of time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm not much
is anybody looking at us weird for the way that we're dressed or anything?
Two things, Elliot. One, you can taste that there are 7 different kinds of berries in this wine. You can taste grapes, blueberries, raspberries, blackberries, and 2 berries you can't. It's almost escape, like they're almost about to escape your tongue, and then you realize that they managed to slice up peaches and apples and cut up very finely and add it to this mix, like to this wine as you are sipping it. The second thing, nobody's staring at you weird. No, in fact, the gentleman that is sitting by himself kind of nods, like if you were to go over and talk to him, that he'd be willing to talk to you guys. But everybody kind of looks at you guys, kind of like waves, it kind of gives like a wave of greeting, but doesn't seem to be look at you guys weird.
Hey, that guy seems like he's okay if we go talk to him. Should we go over there, or do you think we crowd him?
I mean, we could. A couple of us can go over there and talk.
Man, let's go hug him.
Don't hug him. I'll pretend I don't know you.
I would like to approach the gentleman and with Elliot, if that's okay, Elliot.
Yeah.
Sure. You go up to him.
Hello, and knowing the time period, I'm gonna curtsy even though I'm not wearing anything feminine.
I take my hat off if I haven't already taken.
He just looks at you guys and he nods. Greetings. I couldn't help but notice I haven't seen your faces around here very much. Where might you guys be from? Are you guys from around here?
Very much not.
I say, good day, monsieur. I am Benjamin, and I am my associates and I. We hail from America.
Yes, I'm Elliot.
Elliot and Ben. My name is Etienne Dupont. I've helped account on numerous investigative dealings with if he seems to have troubles or just in kind of investigate stuff around his home. I'm kind of like what you would call a detective of sorts. But I couldn't help but notice that you guys, you guys seem very uncomfortable. Is everything all right with you guys? Are you guys okay?
Yeah,
we're new to the
okay.
city.
It's just the big differences.
Yes. Obviously, or don't have anything.
Cutting in and out.
We simply don't have anything as grand and beautiful as Marseille in America. Not yet.
Not yet. Well, you guys are always, looking to, what did they say? I can't even think of that saying anymore. It's been so long. Do me a favor. Why don't you invite your other two friends to come over here and join us? Not that I don't, unless you guys are willing to explore the house or talk to other people, but, the other guests, I do notice, and he points over to a woman in a black, really fancy dress, black elbow sleeve gloves, with a black hat, a short black cowl, and has blonde hair. Her in particular, she's very suspicious of new people. She won't say anything in the presence of the count, but let's just say she won't do anything in front of the count, but if you guys were out on the street, the guards would be on to you guys. She's very anxious, let's just say.
I can relate to that. Okay, and I'm gonna wave over the other two, Chris and Kara.
I'm gonna go over.
I'm gonna follow.
I'm gonna hold my wife's arm and bring her over. Honey.
As you guys are walking over, he leans down towards the two of you. Are they a couple?
Yes. They are a couple. Mr. and Mrs. Coyle, forgive me, yes.
Oh, well, as I said to your other friends here, Mr. and Mrs. Coyle?
Yeah.
Am I saying it correctly? My name is Etienne Dupont. I am a detective of sorts, and I help the count on kind of just making sure everything around here stays trouble-free, so to speak.
He's lying to me?
Yeah, go ahead and make a charm check.
Them social scientist skills to work.
Yeah. Got 3 out of 6.
3 out of 6? Or 3 out of... Go ahead.
Because I'm master on that. But with my
That'd be
skill,
an 8. That would be a D8, not a D6.
Oh. Oops. 4 out of 8.
Okay. So you pass. You get the sense he is telling you the truth about what his job title is in the mansion. However, you get the sense that he is definitely, what he does is like far more than what he has implied or told you guys. He has a far bigger role than he'd like to let on.
I'm gonna keep that to myself. Obviously not gonna say anything in front of these guys with him right there, as I'm gonna watch this detective.
Okay. He kind of waves the butler over. The butler drops off a variety of drinks, a couple more glasses of wine, a couple more glasses of liqueur, some water. Another butler comes by, this time carrying various samples of food. Some of it is like the food around the area would be like fish, various fish dishes. However, there are a few times that they come around with like salads of various vegetables and fruits that are in and around the native land. As you guys got now like a variety of food and drink in front of you guys and at this table, as Attain kind of sits back in his chair and goes, "So, what brings you to the house of the Count de Monte Cristo?"
That's what we're trying to figure out. We gained invitations without knowing the man.
Yeah, it's very strange.
Very.
Do you have like the invitation, perhaps?
The butler has it.
The
butler at the
doorman
gate
took him.
Did you say the butler at the gate?
Yes.
Yeah, at the gate. He let us in, but he asked for our invitations first.
Should he not have done that?
He kind of pauses for a second, and then, well, I know most of the butlers that are in around here, but if it's a butler at the gate and he took your invitations, that must have been none other than the Count's own personal butler, Barsutio. He must have taken him. He protects the Count's privacy. Very, very much so. Even I don't know all the secrets of the Count. As he kind of looks around at you guys and says, so is there any questions that I can maybe help you guys answer? Anything I can help you out with?
May I ask, what is the Count?
Cutting out.
What is not? Be the Count's official name. I understand the Count is his title.
I've only known him as the Count of Monte Cristo. I don't know his full name.
Not even his Christian name?
Not even Christian name. He keeps that one very, very private. Not even sort of Barsutio even knows his full name.
Well, I'm sure he has his reasons.
If I do not wish to seem rude or intrusive, where does the Count hail from originally? His family. Does he divulge that information to you?
You know, rumor has it, he hailed from cities around here. Others say that he is a nobility from overseas, stumbled across a vast rich hoard and gave him the title of Monte Cristo.
I see.
But nobody knows for sure.
Well, he is certainly wealthy if he can afford such a lovely manor and home in the state.
Yes, it's gorgeous.
I have a question for you, sir.
Oh, go right ahead.
You know most of these people. Who should we not partake in talking to?
Oh, that is very tough. Most of the guests here are pretty nice. They won't treat you with disrespect unless you treat them with disrespect first. However, if you're trying to keep secrets, and he points over to a woman who is about, just right around 5 feet tall, short brown hair, keeps it real nice. A brown and white dress, kind of flowing down to the floor. You better keep Thery Martin out of your secrets. She's been known to kind of drop whatever to anybody that's willing to listen. In fact, last week I'm pretty sure she said that I was having an affair with the Count himself, but
My
let's be
God,
honest.
monsieur, such the thing to say.
I know, such a shame. And as you guys are sitting here, you hear a pair of footsteps walk up and gesture to the chair next to Etienne. Excuse me, Mr. Dupont, may I sit? And he opens the chair up. And sitting down, you see a man, early 40s, maybe 50s. And he sits down, and as soon as he sits down, you see Etienne kind of go on the defensive, like, as he sits down, arms crossed, black shoe, brown vest, white button-up shirt, and black slacks. You couldn't get a size of you couldn't look at his shoes, but he is wearing brown shoes. I've known Etienne here for a while, but I don't know you for. As he kind of looks at you for. Just looking at you guys.
We're new arrivals.
Yes, just arrived from America.
Oh, you Americans. First it was having your own island, and now you guys seek to have a land full of freedom. Now you have to show up into one of the most beautiful coastal towns in all of France.
I'm sorry, monsieur.
I do not like you. You guys interest me, but also frustrate me at the same time. Please tell me your names.
Forgive me, monsieur.
Hold
You
up.
have us.
It is first courteous, is it not, to introduce yourself before we introduce ourselves if you're asking for our name?
You see the man kind of lean back in his chair. My name is Victor Durand. I'm here on personal invitation of the Count himself. And you see Etienne, we're all kind of here on the invitation of the Count himself. You know, clearly trying to make you guys feel included in that aspect. And you see Victor kind of look at him, and you see Etienne kind of shiver a little bit. And Victor is. So I've told you my name. Now tell me yours.
I give a gentle bow. My name is Chris Coyle. I'm gonna be
Pleasure.
watching this Victor real closely now.
Okay. Looks over at the remaining three of you.
I curtsy. Elliot Lystra.
I bow and offer my hand. Benjamin Edouard from.
And stop with the accent, please.
Somebody has to fill Aaron's spot.
He looks at you. He looks at you, and he takes him 3 solid seconds, which, Chris, you pick up almost immediately. But when he shakes his hand, let's just say he didn't do it out of a courtesy. He did it because he felt like he had to. Like, he didn't want to shake Ben's hand. But Chris, you would be the one to pick up on that. Kara, as he looks towards you.
Kara Coyle.
Pleasure. As he stands up and grabs
I am
one
not hiding the disdain on my face for this man.
as he takes the glass, he's looking at you for drinks and then puts his glass back on the table and spins it. Now, if you excuse me, I have other party members to introduce myself to. As he walks off, you see that his stride is one of proud and pompous as he walks off. And you see as soon as he leaves, Etienne kind of shakes.
Noble.
And he kind of shakes his head and Victor Durant. I didn't think he'd be here. Ugh.
I looked to Monsieur Dupont and said, Monsieur Dupont, who is that man?
Well, I mean, he introduced himself.
What does he do? What is his? Who is he? As I said, but beyond his name.
Let's just say he is an entrepreneur with a very loud voice.
Oh.
Lovely. And I take another sip of the drink that I've been nursing. Like,
Okay.
I said.
Yeah, I'm gonna take another big chug of my drink because that man.
Same as with my wine.
Okay.
Water's water.
Okay. You guys are sitting at the table for a few minutes. Various butlers come by, but everybody else seems to be well deep into conversation with whoever they're talking to. When all of a sudden you hear a loud voice call from the balcony on the second level. Introducing the Count of Monte Cristo! And you look up and you see a young man, late 20s, maybe early 30s. But this is a young gentleman. Nice trim beard, short trim brown hair, wearing a white shirt with a red vest over the top, wearing a cape, black on the outside, red on the interior, black slacks, black shoes. He has a pair of yellow or gold straps leading from his pants. You realize they're coveralls, essentially. As he steps foot, various people go up and start greeting him, and he shakes their hand and he wishes them, thanks for coming, thanks for coming, thanks for coming. And then he sees Etienne, and he comes over to the five of them. Etienne steps up, greets him first. They shake hands, and then Etienne says, "Allow me to introduce you to the 4 new friends I have made." And he gestures to you 4, as the Count stands in front of the table and gives a slight courtesy bow to the 4 of you.
I bow deeply in respect and say,
Yeah.
Monsieur Count de Monte Cristo, it is an honor to be.
Please don't bow. You're my guest in my home. No need to bow here. Thank you for coming. But may I ask? I don't wish to pry. And Etienne at this kind of shoos off and kind of goes and starts talking to somebody else. As he kind of looks around for a second and he gestures and he motions for you guys to follow him and to walk around.
I'll follow.
I follow.
Arm and follow.
Yeah. Chris, you notice that I do what I do when I'm tense, and I'm kind of grabbing onto you a little harder than.
I mean, I figured that.
So, go ahead, Kara.
Nobility, and I
So
I have certain types of ancestry, so it's just like, oh yeah.
So he walks down and he goes down to a room down at the far end of the hall. He opens the door and holds the door open for the 4 of you to enter first.
Thank you.
Merci.
Thank you.
As you guys enter a room, you can see that this is a study of sorts. A large oak desk sits in the corner of the room with 1 chair behind it and 4 chairs out front. You see that there is a fire brewing in the fireplace. It's a calm, cool, collective. You see various rugs of different sizes and shapes. One it's like a train leading from the front of the fireplace, leading towards the back of the room. The interior is red velvet carpet. The walls are white, with various paintings along the wall. Nothing of historical or meaningful value, but you do get the sense that these pictures may mean something to them.
Once the door is closed, I'm going to look to the count. So why did we get an invitation when you don't know us?
He sits down and he sits down behind the desk and kind of pulls it up closely, and he goes, "You must be the 4 Americans from that the benefactor has told me so much about."
How, you know this benefactor?
Oh, he wrote me a very detailed letter stressing that I must bring 5 Americans into my house, and he looks around. He's like, but as the 4 of you were last to come in, as my head butler has said, I assume that your compatriot was unable to make it.
What compatriot?
Oh, were we supposed to come with somebody else?
I was not aware of this.
It's been a long day.
I am so sorry. And he reaches down underneath his desk, pulls out a small glass, pours more liquor into it. My private stash, and he slides it across the table towards you, Kara.
Oh wow. Thank you.
Does she have her same alcohol tolerance as in this as she does in real life?
Yeah. So
I'll be fine.
I would.
He looks to the 4 of you and goes, "In this letter that was detailed to me and my eyes only, not only was I told to have the 5 of you, now 4, enter my home, but that there was going to be an assassination attempt on my life."
Oh.
I get these all the time, so I'm not too worried about it. However, this benefactor also wished me to give you this, and he reaches down and he puts out this large sack. As soon as it hits the top of the desk, you can hear this loud, like, sounds of coins clanging on the desk.
I reach for the sack.
The sack contains
Benefactor sack, huh?
I hope it would just pass. Guess.
The sack contains one. As soon as you grab it, Ben, you realize you're gonna have to use 2 hands to take this off the desk.
I reach for my hand and I grab the container of content.
Sure. You look inside, and there are coins, various size, worth, but you get the sense that you look in and there's 3 different types. You see that there are, in fact, you see that there are various pence, shillings, and pounds sitting in this sack of money that he has handed across to you. The benefactor had wished that, should I not be able to, if you wish to venture outside of my estate, or should you guys ever need anything, that he would give you this, his emergency fund, quote unquote.
Okay.
Inside this sack, you have split on 4 people. There are 100 pound coins per person, 200 shillings, and 300 pence per person.
Okay.
Can you say that one more time, GM?
Sure. You have 100 pound coins, you have 200 shilling coins, and 300 pence coins.
And that's per each, right?
That's each. That's not collectively, that is each. When you guys, as soon as he hands you the money, you hear, now followed by a loud, blood-curdling scream as the count quickly gets up and walks towards the front door, and he doesn't even get to the front door, and you see his head butler standing in the doorway, and he's saying, someone has been murdered in the kitchens. And that's where we're going to take our break. So stay with us, guys, as we are going to take a small break. So stay tuned. Welcome back. So, as you all work your way out of the Count's office and make your way downstairs, you follow the Count and his head butler. You guys make your way, open up the kitchen doors, and you see Etienne Dupont lying dead on the, you would guess like a countertop of the main kitchen area.
No!
I need all of you guys to make brain checks.
No, he was so beautiful.
Okay, starting with Ben. Ben, what'd you get?
I got a 3.
Got a 3. Okay, Chris.
3 out of 4.
3 out of 4. Okay, Ben, what was yours?
Oh, I'm sorry. It was 3 out of 4.
3 out of 4. 3 out of 4. Okay. Kara.
You're muted.
Sorry, I pulled a Ben. 10 out of 10.
10 out of 10. Oh, okay.
Ooh.
And Elliot.
3 out of 4.
3 out of 4. All right. As you enter the room and see Etienne Dupont, Ben, the first thing you notice is when you look back towards the kitchen door, you do realize that the kitchen door, is, with you guys entering the room, was fully open. However, you look down at the floor underneath it and you realize the door had been slowly creaked in rather than like full on busting in. So whoever wanted to get in there was very quiet about it. The door lock around the door itself appears to have messed with. You do realize that whoever was trying to get into the room was not very adept at lockpicking, and the wood around the keyhole appears to be frayed and broken. It opened, but it is somebody who tried to get in was not a very good lockpick. Chris, when you enter the room, you see that there are 4 people around. One of them is none other than Victor Durant. The other 3 you don't know. Victor Durant looks upon Etienne with a mixture of sadness and disdain, as you get the sense that he is sad that Etienne is gone, but he's repulsed by the crime in which he was killed. The other 3 express a mixture of, the other 2 express remorse and begin to weep tears, except for the lady on the end. This lady has a pale blue dress with brown hair that is tied up into a braid in the back. She has no emotion on her face. Kara, with a critical, you notice that whoever killed Etienne killed him, but then did a really crappy job of trying to cover up the crime. You look upon him and there are numerous dagger stabs across his body. However, the killing blow was done across his throat, in which a large metal cleaver of sorts was done. But in haste to either try to get out of the room, or trying to not be discovered in there with the body, they stabbed the body numerous times in haste to get out of the room. Elliot.
Mm-hmm.
When you look at him, numerous smells of various plants, most of which you gather come from the wine. However, 3 poisonous plants instantly tickle your nose. Upon kind of trying to figure out where they're coming from, they're not coming from any sort of container, but rather coming from Etienne himself. meaning that whoever, you get the sense that Etane did not make a sound when he was killed. So whoever did it made sure he died quietly.
Okay.
The Count expresses immediate sorrow before turning to his butler, whispering some words, and then the butler goes out and begins locking the doors and locking the gates, as now he is trying to solve a murder inside his own home.
Yeah, I will say sorry, go ahead.
He turns to the four of you and he says, he turns to the 8 of people that are in the room, and he says, like, you guys all need to come with me. I need to make a public statement, as he guides you guys out of the kitchen and into the main foyer area. And he goes up on the second balcony, and Chris, being a social scientist, you realize that by him doing this, he is trying to get everybody's attention without having to either yell across a large area, or he's not doing it from a position of power. Rather, he is doing it just because it is easier and less taxing across his voice as he's making this announcement.
Okay.
If I get a moment in between, I want to kind of whisper to him that he also smelled like poison, and what specific plants, if I recognize the specific plants.
You recognize one of the plants immediately. The other two, you're like, it's on the tip of my tongue. But one of them is a heavy dose of a poisonous plant called nightshade.
Yeah, and I make sure that he knows that Etane smelled like multiple poisonous plants, the most noticeable one being nightshade.
He takes a second, you can tell that you don't have to have Chris's social scientist job to know that half step, you realize that he did hear your words, but you do realize that he needs to go speak to the remaining people of the house.
Yeah, I just wanted to make sure he knew so he wouldn't drink anything or anything in case that was poison too.
So he addresses the crowd. A tragedious murder has occurred in my own home. I'm sorry to do this, but because everybody was in this house when this happened, I don't know who is the actual murderer in this terrible crime. For that being said, you guys are all welcome to stay here as my guests until we get this problem sorted out. We will not involve the police at this current moment in time. However, if you guys wish to leave, then that's when I will involve the local police, and therefore then a widespread investigation will be done upon this house. Am I understood? And you hear a few people kind of chime up like, yes, I understand. And some express some worry, but most people seem to be kind of happy. And then he gestures to the butlers. The butlers lead the people further into the house. And he comes down and he goes, okay. And he turns to the four of you. He goes, you guys were with me when this tragedy occurred. For the time being, I will have, and he turns to Bertsudio, and he goes, my main man here will be with you. He will take you guys back. And he points to Elliot. I did hear your words. I need you guys to look into this, but I want you to do it quietly. If you need anything, ask Bert. Meanwhile, I'm going to entertain my guests in the ballroom. If you guys wish to join us later, or wish to update, simply tell Bertsudio, and he will lead you into the ballroom. Is that understood?
Yes, sir.
As he turns and he walks into the back towards the ballroom area, and Bertsudio opens the kitchen door and allows you guys to enter back into the room, if you guys still wish.
Yeah, I want to, as casually as I can, try to see if I can smell that nightshade anywhere, like on anybody. Like I'll kind of like walk around and, you know, sip at my wine that I know I've been sipping on, so I know it's safe.
being a social scientist, I'm actually not going to go in the kitchen. I'm going to watch the people and their reactions and who they talk to and where.
Okay. So
I want
Chris
I
is
want to
heading to the
go.
ballroom. So
I want to.
just go ahead, Ben.
I was gonna say I was gonna check out the kitchen door and see if I can see what instrument was used to try and open the door. Any other on the door.
Okay, Kara.
I'm actually taking a closer look at that at the body and the wounds themselves.
Okay, and then Elliot, are you going with Chris, or are you staying back with Kara, Ben, and Kara?
So I want to see if I can smell any of that nightshade around the kitchen. If I can't find it in the kitchen, I'm gonna go with Chris and see if I can smell like it on any of the people. But I'm gonna do my best to not just like walk over and sniff people. I'm gonna try to do it like casually.
Sure. So for the kitchen, I need you to roll a brains check.
Okay. Me or everybody in there?
Just you.
Okay. Okay. 4 out of 4.
Okay. You smell around the kitchen. You can't pick up anything coming from containers. You can't pick it up from anybody that might have been working in the kitchen. You notice that the nightshade smell is coming from Etane's mouth. So you get the sense that somebody put it over his mouth. One, so that way he wouldn't make a sound, but then two, he would probably pass out within seconds of that stuff hitting his lips.
Okay, so it's like an old style chloroform.
Correct.
Okay. Knowing that, I'm gonna come back to Kara since they're checking out the body, and I'm gonna let them know that I didn't smell any nightshade in the kitchen and that it was probably used like chloroform.
Okay. Elliot, I need you to do okay, so everybody put a mark in your clue points on your sheet, as you guys had all successfully identified the clues from the first original group. And then Elliot, I need you to put in a second one for going back and picking up the that nightshade smell coming from Etane.
Okay.
Here's how these clue points work. These clue points are used to help you keep track of whatever throughout the course of the game. You can either use these clue points to the primary use is that once you get 3 of them, you can spend them to gain 1 ability score increase in any of your skills. To increase 1 skill by 1.
Okay.
But once you spend them, you have to have somebody else tell you, as you do not remember why you you got that ability score increase, but you do not remember the clues that led you up to that point. So, but if you were to take notes and have them down, you would instantly look down and then you would be able to recount what is going on.
Okay.
Okay.
So we would need notepad.
Or you could just So, Chris, it's you for a second. You go out into the main ballroom. Count addresses everybody. They start doing a dance to kind of calm everybody's nerves. A few of the women try to get the sense, try to dance with the Count. From their social cues, you gather that they are probably trying to either put him at ease or try to garner information out of him. But the Count is very, very good at keeping secrets, and so you get the sense that he's probably not going to tell anything despite their charms. However, you do notice that one person is not dancing with the main group, or 2 people are not dancing. You see Victor Durand, and you see the mysterious pale blue dress woman standing off, not even like looking at each other, but rather having drinks and watching everybody dance on the dance floor.
Okay. I'm gonna move to our side of the wall, not where I can keep an eye on them too, but also not be so into the dancing.
Okay, I need you to make an agility check.
Okay. That's a D10. 6 out of 10.
Okay. You successfully slink back into the wall, observing people. And for the next few minutes, you observe everybody dancing and having a good time, although you can kind of get the stress. You kind of get the sense that the stress and the tension of the room is still high of everybody thinking about what has happened. For now, we turn back over to Ben, who is investigating the door. Ben, make me a brains check, please.
Okay, brains check is a 4 die. 3 out of 4.
Okay. You notice that the door was done with a very crude weapon, not even proper locksmith tools. Probably a small tool, like a pin or like a small metal hook, but not what you would typically see to unlock doors. This is the reason why the wood is frayed around the keyhole. You do notice that the doorknob itself is also loose. You know that, like, man of the count stature, all the doors would be nice on there, nice and tight. That any sign of loose or frayness around the door handle indicates that somebody was trying to either break into the kitchen really quickly or push down on the doorknob simultaneously at the same time. For that, add a clue point to your sheet. And then for you, Chris, I also need you to make a brains check as well. And then finally we turn to Kara. Kara, I need you to make 4 out of 4, Chris. Okay, I'll come back to you.
Mm-hmm.
Kara.
Mm-hmm.
I need you to make a brains check.
5 out of 10.
Okay. You look over the body. The quick glance earlier kind of provided you with like a dagger or was done on the body, while a big butcher cleaver was done around the kill shot in the throat. You get the sense that the knife that was used was probably something with a very small blade that actually, if he was alive, he would just be bleeding profusely. It wouldn't actually have killed him. But it was done in haste and done so quickly that it was sloppy. However, you get the sense that the cleaver cut was done very precise. It was one swift motion, and that the cleaver that was used would be typical what you see butchers use to cut up meat. I need you to add a clue point to your sheet, please.
I'm
Chris.
gonna also look around. Oh, sorry.
Go ahead. No, go ahead, Kara. Go ahead.
I'm also gonna look around because knowing that this was going to be messy, I'm going to look for a trail of blood.
Make a brains check.
Is advantage
3
a
out
thing?
of 10.
Is
What'd you
advantage a
get?
thing? Can I help?
You can also make a brains check.
Okay. Nope, I crit failed.
Okay. There appears to be, I will say, not from a lack of not noticing, but you guys do not see a blood trail leading from anywhere.
That's weird.
Chris, as you're noticing people on the dance floor, you do also notice that like there are violinists and pianists and stuff playing new music. There's an orchestra for this type of music. You look around, and now Victor and the woman have now joined in the dancing. However, you do notice that there is a couple off to the side having a very heated argument for what appears to be about 10 or 15 seconds before the woman gives the man a hard, like, shove and then walks away from it. Add a clue point to your sheet.
No, I'm gonna keep watching. But actually, I'm gonna try to move into the dance floor, see if I can be social, and try to see if anyone want to dance with a stranger.
Make a charm check.
The D8. 4 out of 8.
Okay, you get out of the dance floor. Doesn't take long before you do realize that the innkeeper that Etane pointed out to you earlier has now taken your hand and say, "Oh, you would like to dance? Let's dance!" And she quickly grabs you and starts dancing with you in a what appears to be a fast moving dance jig across the floor.
Okay. I'm not going to ask any questions. I'm just going to dance while watching people as I can, as well as the innkeeper who I'm dancing with.
Okay. She looks up at you and she just starts looking around and she goes, "You know, I'm hearing a lot of gossip around here." And she's, kind of dancing around, the dreadful murder. And like actually spins you around. And like she is clearly in charge of the dance number that you guys are dancing. And she goes, "But I don't recognize your face. What might be your name?"
It is first common courtesy to introduce yourself before asking someone their name.
This is true. My name is Terry Martin. And you would be?
Chris Coyle.
That's the blabbermouth, I think.
A pleasure. And she pulls you back in and she starts dancing. She goes, "I've heard some terrible rumors. Before this whole part, I knew something evil was going to happen here tonight." And she kind of like looks around and then kind of like whispers, "Do you know that Adelaide and Etane were, a couple, right?"
Who is this Adelaide?
She points to the mysterious pale blue dress woman. Says, "Don't you know her? She is the like the people that put. She writes everything down and has people. She puts around all around town. She is like, people say I'm the source of gossip, but man, she's the one that makes it sure that everybody knows."
You don't say.
"Oh, I know. It's a scandal, right? A guy with so many secrets and somebody that's willing to post it. Well, I think this is... Don't you think?"
There's always more than meets the eye.
"Oh, you got that right." And she finishes the dance and then she goes, "I need something to drink. Farewell, Mr. Coyle." And she like dances. She like kind of walks over to a butler that's got a gut thing and takes like a cup that's got full of the liqueur that's pretty much 3/4 of the way full and drowns it in one fell drink. So we turn back to the three that are in the kitchen. Ben, Kara, and Elliot.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
After you guys 30 about minute and a half to almost 2 minutes of you guys like either like silence or you guys just busy looking around for other stuff, you hear Bertsio ask you, "Is there anything I can do to help? I want to make sure that my master's reputation is very clean."
Of course. Well, it looks like a couple of different blades was used. One very small for like bloodletting, and the other was obviously a butcher's cleaver, and that was right across his throat. That's what killed him.
And so would everybody here have access to Nightshade, or is that kind of hard to come by?
As soon as you say the words Nightshade, his face for a second drops And then before he composes himself, Nightshade?
Yes, I'm afraid his mouth stinks of it.
Are you positive?
Absolutely. And multiple other poisonous plants that I can't quite pinpoint.
Come with me, and he leads you to the pantry. Where he grabs he pushes something on the pantry trim, and it spins around. He leads you into the back room where you get Elliot, this is like apothecary paradise. You see various plants around. You get that pungent smell again of nightshade. The other two plants, now they have come fully into your nose. Deathroot and, strangely enough, vanilla, but raw vanilla. It's not the sweet smelling stuff that you would smell in stores, but it's very raw, very raw vanilla.
Yeah, these were the other smells. Who has access back here?
Only the kitchen staff. Ete knew about this room, but and obviously the Count and I have access to this room.
Question. Do I see more of those marks as if somebody had to lockpick to get in here and failed at it, like Ben saw with the kitchen? Or is this more of you can just kind of step right in place?
If somebody knew where this room was, there's no evidence that somebody tampered with this. Somebody was able to, if the door was either momentarily open, somebody was able to sneak in, or if somebody knew where that lock, because there's no evidence of tampering.
How long would it... is it possible for me to try to make an antidote or something to help, a preventative that I can give the Count to stop him from being able to get knocked out, quite like Attain was?
I need you to make a charm check first, because you are, in order for you to accomplish this, you first need to talk to the head butler first.
Yeah.
To try and convince him that you are doing this strictly for the Count's benefit.
Mine was a 4 out of 10.
He seems to hesitate for a second, and he goes,
I'll let you watch the whole thing. I'll explain everything as I go.
Okay, make another charm check.
Even worse. 2 out of 10.
He hesitates for a second. But then he kind of blocks you to a corner of the room where you get more sweet smelling aromas. And he says, you may only have access to this corner of the room and nowhere else. Is that understood?
Understood. Does it look like there's anything I can do with this stuff?
There are 4 different plants immediately upon turning around that you can see that you could easily make a anti death or knockout potion. However, with the ingredients that he has, and because of the rare qualities of this plant, you are only able to make 1 dose.
Okay. Well, I just wanted to make the 1 to give to the Count anyway, so that he could swig it if he thought that someone was coming for him.
Okay.
Okay, so I'm gonna try to mix one up.
Okay. I need you to make a brawn or agility check. Your choice.
Ooh, okay.
Because you are actively making something.
Okay, both are the same. They're both trained.
Okay.
And I got a 6 out of 10.
Okay. It takes you a little bit longer than usual because of you having to be this plant and remembering times and stuff, but you are able to successfully, at the end, you are able to successfully concoct a anti-poison or but this anti-poison must be drunk first and not in the presence of somebody being poisoned. If someone's poisoned, it is too late. They have to drink it first.
Okay. So I'm gonna put that into a vial and cork the top off.
Okay.
And thank you. This will hopefully help. He has to do very specific, but it should keep him safe. At least once.
He nods his head and then turns back to Kara and Ben.
Do you notice any missing, like, butcher's knives around here? Or bloodletting knives?
Make a brains check, Kara.
Gosh darn it, the blacksmith having to make all the brains checks. That's a 9 out of 10.
Okay. You notice that there are many collection of knives in various sheets across the table. You get the sense that for ease of access, that anybody could have had access to these knives at any given time. However, you do see a spot on one of the tables where a knife that is 2 inches long and 4 inches wide is missing from the stack of knives among the tables.
Okay. There's a knife missing here.
GM, I'd like to investigate not the door, but I want to see lead.
It's coming out again.
Really? Got right up to
Maybe
my
it's
mouth.
the wire.
I don't know. I have to take a look afterward. But yeah, I like to investigate around, kind of like where the door goes to. Like try and see around there, so you kind of like see where the path of the person trying to enter would have come and gone.
Okay. I need you to make a brains check. Because you're trying to figure out how this door is swinging open and swinging closed.
That is a 3 out of 4.
3 out of 4. Okay. The door swings open and it only enters about an additional 18 inches into the room. The room is and all 3 of you know this, that the room itself is 6 foot extra deep into the room, and the width of the room is about 4 feet wide. So the 18 extra inches that this goes into the room is meager compared like lengthwise. Widthwise, you get the sense that if 2 people were in here at the same time, they would be sitting back to back. Their backs would literally be touching if they were on the sides. But 3 people could stand shoulder to shoulder through the length of the room with the door shut. The door swinging open and swinging closed takes approximately 3.5 seconds to open and close. If someone's in a rush, they could put something down to hold the door open, but as Elliot noticed earlier, no such device was done to hold the door open. You get the sense that whoever got into this room knew exactly what to look for, how quickly the door opened and closed, and got in and out very, very quickly.
Where do I see where this hallway leads to? That leads from the kitchen down into this hallway. Do I see where it goes? I want to follow this hallway.
It's 6 feet into the back wall of this mysterious herb room. Essentially.
Okay. So
he comes to the room that I'm in.
Yeah, like.
Okay. I'm gonna let him know. In that case, that I managed to concoct a 1 single dose of a preventative if it's drinking right beforehand.
That's good. Just trying to see that door that got broken into, trying to see where the killer could have gone to.
Do I see, or like if I feel around, can I, at least in the area that I'm in, I want to look for a trap door. Or if the butler's still in here, I'll ask if there's a secret door, and that if I'm not supposed to know about it, that area needs to be checked.
The butler is sitting right outside the door. You ask him the question, and he says, "We do not keep trapdoors in here. this room is meant to quickly trap and entrap any intruders that might try to get into this room that are not invited. If you are people who have access to this room, you are required to memorize this room in a very short time span. Because once you are in this room, you are not to be let out until somebody who knows this room does the secret, opens the door. Essentially, like you're gonna be you're going to be stuck in here if you, because this is how dangerous or helpful this room can be.
Okay, and I'm gonna look over at Ben. I think it was 2 people at least.
Yeah.
Not only for that reason, but because it's 2 different blades back to back.
It's an ambush.
Yeah. At
What's
least
that?
2 people.
The only question is, targeted, or did he walk in on something?
Exactly.
Does anything look tampered with here? Like maybe he was just checking something out and he found some people stealing and they were able to subdue and kill him? Anything look rifled through here?
I need both you and Elliot to make range checks.
Hey,
What'd you get?
I got a crit 4.
Sweet.
I got a crit 1 out of 4.
Ben, you know nothing. Like you look around and every single plant looks exactly the same. They don't smell the same, but I mean, which ones are harmful? Which ones are harmful? Which ones are helpful?
I just grab a jar and just open it and be like, and stick
Careful,
my nose in it.
Do not, no. If that is Nightshade, you're gonna be on your ass.
What is it? Is it Nightshade? Am I gonna die? I don't know.
What is he smelling?
Elliot, he grabbed a container full of jellyfish gel. You do realize that if he were to actually if he were to taste it or touch it, he would be instantly paralyzed for depending on how long or how exposed he was or how long he was touching it, he would be paralyzed 1 hour per second he touched it.
Yeah, I'm gonna immediately take it from him, grab the packet, like close it off and put it back. Do not touch anything in here. This is very dangerous.
Oh, okay. I'm scared, Elliot. I don't know.
You would have been on the
Here.
ground for an hour, at least.
I don't think I would have liked that.
Yeah, so no touchy.
Okay, no touchy.
When you say no touchy, Elliot, you look at the bundle of nightshade. One of the leaves was ripped like half off. So like whoever knew that the nightshade was here, like jumped in, grabbed the nightshade and ripped it off. Like they knew it was here, but they didn't get like, we're gonna individually pick like 3 or 4. They just grabbed a handful of that nightshade branch and just ripped it straight off.
Yeah, so I think he walked in on something because they moved very quickly and they were clearly panicking. So I think he walked in on something he wasn't supposed to. At least 2 people, maybe 3 at this point. 'Cause we really... Do I know how long it would probably take for... Let's say somebody's in the kitchen, how long it would take for them to run back here and back?
So you're getting the sense, how long would it take for somebody to jump into the room with Nightshade and then get back to where Etaine's body is?
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out, like, realistically, if he possibly walked in on something, got jumped by the one person, the other person ran in here, grabbed the Nightshade, and finished the job. Or if there would have been too big of a... If they had to prepare beforehand.
Make a brain check.
I crit failed, but I explained my thoughts.
Okay. No, you don't really get the sense. You get the sense that very well could be 2 or 3 people, but that's about it.
Yeah. And then, do you think they could have done it in time, Ben?
Well, I start examining the room, kind of just start pacing the just the approximate length and location and there to try and see if the time frame would work.
I also need to have you make a brains check.
I rolled a 2 out of 4.
It would take somebody, if somebody was in the room to where Etaine's body was, it would take them 4.5 seconds, full sprint, to get to where he was. From where Elliot pointed out the Nightshade branch to where he was at would take him 4.5 seconds.
So I started pacing this, and I looked at Elliot. And about 4 seconds from the Nightshade on the shelf to where we found him. I'm
Meanwhile,
thinking
somebody's keeping him quiet.
I'm thinking they already were prepared. They already had some Nightshade to knock him out. This wasn't something you can't just make this stuff on the fly. They had something ready for anybody, ambushed them, and then got rid of them.
I also want to look at the Death Root and Vanilla and see if those were also grabbed, or if this was something that person came with.
Sure, but real quick, let's bounce over to Chris.
Mm-hmm.
So Chris, in the main dance hall, various other dance numbers have come and gone without little to no incident. However, you do notice that the man and the woman that argued earlier, the man is in tears, or not in tears, but he is guzzling drinks down. Like, he's 4 liquor drinks in and is sipping on a glass of wine. The woman is on the other side of the room talking to the innkeeper and the mysterious woman in the blue dress.
You mean Adeline?
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna go over to the man drinking.
He sees you approach.
Why are you drinking so much?
What do you care?
Well, we're in a guest of a home. You seem like pretty well known. So this does not look good on you. And I couldn't help but see a woman running from you. And the fact that there's a murder going on, whether everyone here is being hush hush, this does not look good for you. So I want to be a friend and try to help you so you have a little bit more of an alibi than being quickly suspected.
My name is Lucian Beaumont. And the woman, she, that's Mathilda Beauchard. And that woman has some memory problems. And when I was dancing with her on the dance floor, she got mad and up and left me. As he guzzles down another drink.
I'm worried to ask this, but what do I see about him trying to fabricate something?
Make a brains check. Brains or charm? I'll leave it up to you.
The brains, I probably will have better luck. I will not have better luck. 1 out of 4.
The only thing you get from this man is that he is drunk.
So, she got mad at you because she didn't remember something. And now you're...
You didn't hear that from me.
What didn't she remember? You obviously know.
Looks around. Look. Between you and me, I'm richer than the Count of Monte Cristo. And she is my beautiful wife. And she doesn't remember being my wife.
Did you show a ring on your hand and hers to match?
Listen here, Mr.
Coil.
Kyle. I don't need to show a ring. I have money. And money buys everything in this city.
Money can easily buy you the wrong end of a noose. Do you really want that?
Why you can also much.
Because I'd rather go home than be stuck here playing this whoever's little game this ended up being.
A game. I love games. My favorite game is riddles. Do you like riddles, Mr. Kyle?
Coil. And sure.
Okay, I got it. What has two hands but doesn't hold anything?
A clock.
Correct! You are so good at this game, Mr. Coyle. What has... It is red in color. No, I'm sorry, I missed it. What has the name red in it, but isn't actually red?
Should be read. A book.
What kind of book?
That's a good question. Books can come in all shapes and forms.
True, but what I'm looking for is an actual place.
The Red Sea.
Correct. One last riddle for you. What has treasures of gold? And yet, no one ever sees.
You mean the end of the rainbow where there's supposedly leprechauns with a pot of gold?
Oh, you are good, Mr. Coyle. You are so good. Hey, Butler. Another round of drinks for me and my friend, Mr. Coyle. For he is a master of riddles and is a great friend of mine.
Mind if I ask you a riddle?
I am very good at riddles.
Okay. What can cut and stab but leave no trace? What can smell wonderful but have you just unconscious? What can make you happy but in the end unconscious?
I got it. It's... And he passes out unconscious.
Damn it. You knew what I was going to try to do. Wave of butlers to come move him to a bed.
As the butlers pick him up and they take him upstairs, the count then addresses the crowd and says, it is getting very, very late. If you don't mind, I'm going to retire for the evening. I do have some business to attend to, but please, all of you guys are guests in my house. Please make yourselves at home. And you get to see, Chris, as you look around the room, you see various people breaking off, going upstairs, going to various rooms and going in, either being escorted by like a butler or in some cases, like in the case of Victor, who knows his way probably around the house, knows which bedroom, and just goes and sleeps in goes into one of the bedrooms.
Do I have the time to get him his potion, or is there just not enough time?
He actually pulls Chris and then the three of you, and he beckons you to come into his study with his head butler in tow, and he sits behind the very familiar desk with the fireplace roaring, and he asks each one of you individually an update of what you may have noticed about the case.
I'm gonna hold up my hand before anyone speaks, and I'm going, I mean this in no disrespect. I can verify you, but I cannot verify your butler here. May he please leave while we inform you.
He looks to his butler, and then he looks back to you, Chris, and he goes, do you know the meaning of a life debt, Mr. Chris Coyle?
A life debt will let the person do whatever you say, but also do things that maybe you don't register you could do to protect you. You catch my drift here.
He opens up a drawer and he pulls out, and you see a stamper, and he holds it out to you. You grab a hold of it, you look it over, and he goes, the stamper has only been used ever once. That was to address a letter to, and he gestures towards his butler, his former, say, employers. That in the case of my death, that his head, that he shall be hanged from the highest rock, even if found innocent by his former employer.
I get
So as
that.
you can,
I
so
do
as you can
too, but
see,
what? I let him finish.
as you can see, my dear friend, whatever you can say to me, you can say in front of him. His lips are sealed.
What if he's trying to what if he did the murder to protect you?
Protect me from Etienne? Mr. Dupont? Why? What would give you suspicion that Dupont was the assassin trying to kill me?
Well, I have a feeling that this is way too clean for an outsider like us four to portray. But we cannot fully guarantee that Etienne wouldn't try anything unless you have a life debt on him.
Well,
all
I
we
do
know
not.
is he's a detective.
He was my lead investigator of anything involving the grounds and various other tasks that involve stealthy approach, like watching four strangers appear on a dock as a red-headed woman saw him before entering a shop.
Oh, so that was Etienne in the dark suit and top hat, huh?
He's very good at hiding, however, not good enough if you were able to spot him.
I look to the butler and go, I apologize, but you must understand I will be suspicious of everyone.
He nods his head and he just says, likewise.
I let the others speak before I'm going to speak.
I say everything that I know about that this was a person that knew where that secret entrance was, that they, grabbed a piece of nightshade and everything else, that I have an anti-poison that has to be drank beforehand, but it is only for one dose. It's all I could manage to make. I'm gonna give him the exact types of flowers that it was. So I told him nightshade, deathroot, and vanilla. Let me see. And I think that was all that. Oh, and the fact that it was probably multiple people, if not a group of 3 or 4.
Okay. He hears your words and he seems deeply troubled. As he. Thank you, Elliot.
There were 2 blades used.
2.
A butcher's knife, which was the killing blow across the throat, and then a smaller 2-inch knife that is missing from your kitchen. Stab his body all over.
He looks up to his butler, and his butler nods his head, and he looks back down to Carla. Thank you.
I also relate to the count that the door that was broken into to the area was not very well done. It was somebody who didn't have a very good knowledge of locks or how they really work. So, yeah, it wasn't even proper tools to be used to break in.
And he turns back to, why was the kitchen locked? And the head butler, I don't know. I'll go ask the kitchen staff. And he juts down.
I'll wait till he leaves and then I speak. Besides your butler, who I slightly suspect right now. Again, no offense. Victor, when watching him, was sad remorse, but also disdain when looking upon Atane's body.
And Atane did get really defensive earlier when he came up.
Let's hold up on one more thing. The woman in blue dress, Adeline, shows no emotion, which can mean multiple things, whether she may not want to be seen as a killer, or she had nothing but emptiness, or she's a portraying killer.
Well, in answer to your first question, Etane and Victor are half-brothers. Victor is the older, Etane is the younger. Victor comes from a long line of nobility. Etane comes from a father who worked his every day on the ship, building and repairing ships that come into port every day. Etane always strived to do better. Victor strove to do better if it benefited him. Answer to your second question in regards to Etane and Adelind. Adelind is Etane's ex-wife. She and he were married for about 6 to 8 months. Then Etane had some disgruntlement with his police force and in the guard ranks and left his post. When that happened, Adelind left him and coincidentally enough went after Victor, where she seeks financial stability, something that Etane could not provide.
What do you know of Lucian Belmont?
Other than he is a notoriously bad drunk and likes to make up stories. Also very fond of... No. He puts on a good show, but he's a businessman. You know the phrase, keep your friends close but your enemies closer. Let's just say he's on the closer end because of his ties to my own personal use.
I'm sure you saw this because it made somewhat of a scene. The woman who ran from him after shoving him.
Yes. She is somebody that I found wandering the streets of Marseille. I brought her into my home. She has no memory of anything that happened before me finding her wandering in the streets. She doesn't remember who her parents are. She doesn't remember her previous life. She only remembers wandering in the streets before I found her. She stays here as a permanent guest. And the only thing I can tell you at this time that would be even relevant to the case is that Lucian has taken a very fond fancy to her and tries to persuade her that she is his wife, though they have no marriage recollection of all. As I've known Lucian for I've known him for a few months, and he has never been married or claimed to be married until he saw her.
What about his riddle games?
He's always been fond of riddles. Always talks about that he's the great riddle mastermind, but his riddles are often really simple and easy to solve. He always seems to repeat the same ones, thinking that there's some great hoax or some great plan. However, they are no more than a waste of time.
I wouldn't be so sure. A clock, the Red Sea, a leprechaun's pot of gold.
The answer to that particular riddle is eggs.
Is 8?
Yes. He always, the last one, he just gives it up. He always says whatever you tell him. Because by that point, when he's telling riddles, he's drunk. However, one day when I caught him when he wasn't drunk, he told me that as like his trump riddle. And when I couldn't solve it, and he puts his fingers up, like couldn't solve it. He told me the answer. And it cost me like 2 gold pieces, so. Or two shillings.
What do those answers then mean to you?
I have other things on my mind than worrying about 3 answers to a set of riddles.
When you get time, please think on them.
I will.
I should also mention it did seem like he walked in on something. It seemed very rushed. Like somebody was freaking out, trying to cover their tracks before they were noticed. So it is possible that it was him that broke into the kitchen because he noticed it was locked when it shouldn't have been. So.
Okay. And once again, I thank you. Is there anything else that you guys would like to tell me, or shall I have butlers escort you to your rooms for the night?
Just one thing I noticed before Lucian passed out. Adeline and the innkeeper was talking to the girl that is under your care. You may be good at hiding your secrets. Be careful.
He nods and puts his hands together and says, "Now, if you don't excuse me, I'm tired and wish to turn in for the night. These 4 butlers," and he points to, and there's 4 new butlers, none of which is the head butler, will escort you to your rooms for the night.
Thank you. As long as he's got the potion, I'm good.
Husband?
Oh, of course. But you must understand, for safety, 1 butler must be assigned to each person, in escorting you to your room. So. So
Alright.
he stands up, and the first butler comes in and holds out towards like a gesture, like or either towards Ben or towards Elliot, indicating that they're ready to escort you to your room.
All right, y'all follow.
I follow as well.
So he guides Elliot out of the room. Another secondary butler comes up, Ben, and holds up his hand, waits for the butler to lead Elliot down the hall and around the corner before he takes you and escorts you down the same hall around the corner. And then the two remaining butlers come in, or escort Kara and Chris down that same hall around the same corner. Elliot, with you in the lead, you notice that you go down this long stretch of hall, and that you see lights under various doors, candlelight, when you're walking past, and the doors aren't numbered. However, what you find odd is that towards the end of the hall, there is a group of 5 rooms. He purposely put you, there is a door, and then he puts you in a room, and then but the door next to you is dark, like nobody's in there, whereas the rest of the remaining rooms have like candlelight flowing underneath them.
Okay.
And then he opens the door and gestures for you to enter the room.
All right.
You enter the room. It's a fairly large bed. There is the butler actually goes in and keeps the door open, goes in, lights the candle for you, and then gives a courtesy bow, walks out of the room. You open up there's a closet that upon opening the doors, you see new outfits that are of various different sizes. Yeah, you get the sense that if you were to look at this long enough, you could probably find a change of clothes that would probably fit you.
Okay.
There is just like a closet area, a bedroom, and then there is a window looking outside onto the main area, like the main grounds of the place.
Okay.
Ben, you notice that as the butler leads you, you were able to see what room Elliot goes into.
Mm-hmm.
The butler goes passes the door that's immediately right next to Elliot, and opens the door so it's Elliot's room, skips a room, your room.
I nod my thanks. I nod my thanks to the butler, and I enter my room and start looking around.
He goes into the room and lights the candle for you, gives a courtesy bow, walks out. You also have a closet. You open up, there's various outfits. Again, like Elliot, you could probably find an outfit that would probably fit you if you wish to change your clothes. You do look around the room. There is a fairly large bed. You look out, there is a window leading out onto the main ground, although you're probably about a good 10 or 15 feet down from where Elliot is looking. So you get more of the main grounds, but if you were to look further over, Elliot probably could see more further to the right, but you could probably see more further to their left.
All right. I open the closet, and I decide that I'm going to change into anything more attire that's more like relaxed.
Yeah, sure. You're able to find a pair of pajamas, like relaxing pajama clothes, and you're able to go to sleep. Chris and Kara, you notice that the two butlers walk down the hall, past Elliot's room, past the door, past Ben's room. Then they lead you into the room that's right next to Ben's room, open up the door, and let you in.
Okay, I'm gonna walk in, holding my wife's arm.
Okay.
Look around.
You look around. The butler goes in, lights the candle, gives a courtesy bow, as does the one that lets you into the room. They close the door behind them. With Ben and Elliot, they also close the door behind you as well, so you have complete privacy. Your bed is probably the biggest of them all. as they probably put you in a room that's designed to have a married couple, whereas probably Ben and Elliot's room, it's probably made for, you could probably squeeze 2 people on it, but it'd be kind of uncomfortable. You also have a closet, various outfits. You do not have a window in your room. Rather, you have a window that looks directly up into the night sky.
Oh, that's pretty.
You can look up.
Top floor.
You can look up and you can count up to 10 stars and know that the moon is a half moon. So, with that being said, you guys are able to go to sleep. Ben, give me a brains check.
D4. 3. 3 out of 4.
3. Okay. You're laying in bed. You actually fall asleep. You do wake up. A quick glance out the window, notice that it's still probably in the middle of the night. You do hear a voice call out to a butler or a butler saying, "This is your room, sir." And you hear a person go into the room right next to yours. You hear the butler walk in, light the candle, come back out, and say, "Thank you very much, benefactor, sir," and closes the door and heads down the hall.
Kind of strange. I take note of that. Make a note to tell everybody about that in the morning.
Okay. You go back to sleep. Takes you a few minutes, but you go back to sleep. You wake up. The sunlights are going through your windows. Chris and Kara, you probably wake up a little bit later behind Ben and Elliot, but you're not that much farther behind. You're awake for a few minutes before you hear the of somebody knocking at the door. And this is for Chris and Kara.
Who is it?
It's your butlers, ma'am and sir. We are here to escort you down to breakfast.
Give us a moment to get dressed first, please.
Of course. Whenever you are ready, just let me know. That way we can escort you down.
I nudge my wife, nice and fun, just to get her up. I squeeze her boot.
Dang it, dear.
You hear, we go to Ben.
I groggily wake. I'm like, who is it?
It's your butler, sir. We're here to escort you down for breakfast.
Give me a few minutes to change. I
course.
get up. I get up and I go to the wardrobe and I change out of my pajamas and I back into my regular clothes and I go to the door to leave for breakfast.
Okay. Elliot, you also hear the...
Yes?
It's your butler. Sir, we are here to escort you down for breakfast.
Oh, thank you. I was just getting hungry. I just need to get changed really quick.
Of course. Whenever you're ready, just let me know.
All right, yeah, and I'm gonna get up. I'm gonna go change to a new pair of clothes, and then I'm gonna go and get breakfast.
Okay. So Ben is the first butler, reaches his butler first. The butler escorts him as they go back down the hall. You hang a right instead of a left. You go down a spiraling staircase towards a large dining room table where you see a few other people have gathered and begun eating breakfast. Elliot, you are not too much farther behind Ben. But you are able to see him at all times as they guys go down the staircase, and get ready for. And you're seated right next to Ben. Uh,
Okay.
Chris and Kara, you guys are the last. You guys are escorted out by a butler. As you guys are walking down the stairs, you do see somebody, a butler, coming up with a tray that's got a teapot, a glass teapot with a couple of cups and saucers, and a covered plate. A quick smell, realizing that this is breakfast food, and they're heading back down the hall from which you guys have come.
I'm not gonna get used to the fancy. Mm.
I'm gonna sniff the food before I eat anything because I want to make sure it's not poisoned.
Sure. They bring you down to the main dining area. The butlers do, to Chris and Kara, and they sit you right next to Elliot. So that way all four of you guys are sitting together. The butlers actually walk up to each person individually and ask, what would you like for breakfast?
Ham and cheese omelet.
Okay. Walks back into the kitchen and comes out with this beautifully crafted ham and cheese omelet and puts it in front of you.
Eggs, toast, and potatoes.
Goes into the kitchen, comes back. Or they actually, before they leave, they ask you how you want your eggs.
Scrambled.
Okay. They go into the room. They come back, come out with your breakfast: eggs, potatoes, and toast.
Thank you.
The other butlers turn to Ben and Kara.
I'll have some mixed fruit and some bacon.
They come back with a bowl full of a variety of fruit, including strawberries, blueberries, blackberries, grapes, and, funny enough, kiwi in amongst the mix. And a plate full of bacon. And then they turn to Ben. One of them turns to Ben.
I will also have some eggs and some wheat bread along with it, if you can, if you please. The eggs.
Is there any other type of bread?
There might be some oat bread or potato bread if any of your cooks are Irish. But no, just some bread, please. And also the egg. Could you? I've heard that they do something called an omelette here in France.
I lift my plate.
Ham
and cheese omelet.
They go into the back, make you an omelet, put some bacon on it, and right next to it, and some toast, and they place it in front of you.
Thank you.
And they also pour you glasses of water and tea in front of you, or they also, they have glasses of water and tea in front of you.
You see me actually reach for the tea, and it was just like, tea.
I put so much sugar in it.
Okay.
Right.
Elliot, you get the sense that this is simple green leaf tea, or green leaf tea. There's nothing.
Awesome.
There's nothing harmful about it.
Especially warm. Oh.
I'm gonna keep with the water for now.
Okay. It doesn't take too long before I actually need all of you guys to make brain checks, please.
Okay.
Hey.
Okay, what did Ben? What'd you get?
3 out of 4.
Okay, Chris.
4 out of 4.
Okay, Kara.
6 out of 10.
Okay, and Elliot.
4 out of 4.
Okay, Chris and Elliot, you are the first one to notice this, although Ben and Kara are not far behind you. As you notice that the butler has come back down, carrying the tray. You notice that Chris, since you and Kara noticed this first, there appears to be a cup and a saucer missing, and also the plate of covered food is missing, although the teapot and the remaining other items on the tray are still prevalent. Elliot, you also notice that there is a teacup, and the tray seems too large for the items that they are carrying. So you get the sense that this was a breakfast tray.
I really hope somebody's not poisoning him right now with his stolen food. Do I smell anything strange when he walks past?
You don't smell anything other than the tea is a green leaf mint tea. And you hear a voice, and at this point you hear a set of footsteps coming down, and that the Count has appeared, walks down the staircase and takes a seat at the head of the table. He is wearing a red outfit of simple taste, like almost like pajamas. As he takes a seat at the head of the table, the butler's come. He whispers to a butler what he wishes to eat, and he simply has a bowl of fruit and a morning salad presented in front of him. You watch as the butlers take a bite of his food first before handing it to him, and then upon which, after a few minutes, the Count watches before he begins to eat his food.
Okay, good. He's taking proper precautions. I'm definitely wearing red too.
I'm actually like sleepily kind of like leaning towards Chris while I'm eating, like sleepy comfort.
I want to look around. Is there anybody missing?
From the people gathered at the table, there is a gentleman that is missing. In fact, I'll have all of you make another brain check for me, please. Kara?
Is that tired brain kicking in?
Tired brain kicked in real hard. That's a 1 and a 10.
Okay. Elliot, what'd you roll?
2 out of 4.
Okay. Chris, what'd you roll?
4 out of 4.
Okay. Ben?
I rolled another 3 out of 4.
Okay. Chris, it's a good thing you rolled crit, because you know that the man that is missing is none other than Lucian. Is missing from the table. Ben, you it takes you a minute to notice that the seat placement, that there is probably a male that is supposed to be sitting next to Victor is missing. Elliot, you're not also far behind in seeing that somebody else is missing from the table, also a gentleman. Kara, you're just sipping on green tea.
I'm too tired. I am not a morning person.
I am.
I'm not a morning person, so yeah, no, this is trash.
I'm not either, but I probably didn't sleep because that would have been too anxious.
Okay.
Oh, I was like holding this all night because that's what I do when I'm anxious.
Yeah. I want to make a mental note to try to figure out who that was. That is like missing, and like figure out if there's a reason behind it. Like check up on him at some point.
I'm just sitting there like I don't know, but when I do, so I don't want to give anything away in public.
Okay.
Is anybody talking around me? I want to try to eavesdrop.
No, everybody's staying silent. Nobody's really making. Everybody just seems to be focused on breakfast before. As they finish their breakfast, you notice people are getting up one by one and going back up to get dressed for the day. Eventually, the breakfast whittles down to you guys and the Count. Although you guys, he said at the end of the table, and you guys are sitting about halfway down on the table.
Yeah.
I motion. Is the head butler near him?
The head butler is in fact missing.
So from what I'm hearing is it sounds like the head butler took his food to his room. Out of character, he could have a hangover, but I don't know if in character I would know that.
Well, do you think based on what the Count was saying, do you think that he would probably have a hangover?
The head butler? No.
Probably
no,
not.
I mean the Lucian guy that's missing. That he would have the hangover and the head butler was bringing the food.
The head butler did not bring him food. It was one of the other butlers.
Oh, it was one of the other butlers. Okay.
What do I see how the Count is acting?
He seems very determined to eat his food. Not really focused on much else other than while he's focused on eating his food, he's enjoying it. But you can clearly tell he's got stuff on his mind.
I'm gonna finish my food and wait for if my wife is gonna finish her food ever.
Yeah.
And then I'm gonna ask the Count permission to walk the grounds.
He nods and says, "Yes, of course. But just don't go beyond the gate."
If you could have, I can choose a butler to accompany, I would like your head butler to.
He looks at you before nodding his agreement, and the head butler walks you out onto the grounds.
I'm gonna ask him, what happened to Lucian? Is it a hangover?
Master Lucian did not answer our calls when we knocked on the doors for breakfast time this morning. I assume that from his previous night antics, it's not uncommon for him to sleep well into the morning hours before finally he stumbles out of bed.
Then who is the food going to?
Oh, you're referring to the benefactor. Yes, he tends to keep his privacy, much like the Count. So much so that he requested that his food be brought to him into his room.
What do you know? What do you suspect besides me?
About the case?
That's why I requested you. You are trust at least more than the others.
Listen, a lot of people base their accusations on rumors and various other speculation. However, Guinevere Leclerc kind of comes to mind. A rumor has it her husband died, and her aunt is threatening to cut her off from her remaining inheritance unless she found a lover or somebody to marry within 2 years' time. It's been a year and a half since her previous husband has passed, and rumors were circulating that her and Etienne Dupont, or Mr. Dupont, were going to announce their engagement soon.
Do you believe it?
Mr. Dupont's activities the last 6 months were strange. He would come and go from the grounds in the early evening hours. Most likely he was courting her, and she had begun to make an appearance around the grounds, although she never, her and the Count never had any interaction between the two of them.
What about, and I'm just gonna paraphrase this because it's late last night, I don't remember her name. What about the Count's adopted daughter? I'm just gonna say it's that because of no memory.
Mathilde Bouchard?
Yes.
Mathilde Bouchard, she doesn't spring to my mind, mainly because she was in the main hall area at the time. Although her memory has been spotty as of late, in the sense of sometimes she will slip up and say that she does remember everything before the count. However, there has been times where she, a certain smell or somebody coming down the road, and she greets them like an old friend.
That's interesting. Who do you trust and who do you not? Who do you suspect the most right now, besides me?
Guinevere Leclerc also springs to my mind, even though I know she wouldn't harm Etienne. Rumor has it that she was expecting Etienne to propose. However, Etienne was waiting for funds to garner a wealthy dowry so he could propose marriage to her. But a man of his stature and station, it would have required another year or so, and she wasn't going to wait that long.
Okay.
And so upon hearing this, he broke it off with her. Although rumor has it she was going to speak to the count about maybe increasing his wage or giving him some sort of financial stability so that way they could marry.
What's your take on Adeline?
Adeline puts her nose, much like the innkeeper, puts their nose into business they shouldn't belong. Not dangerous, but they do know dangerous stuff that if in the wrong hands could provide deathly consequences.
So if she was startled upon maybe finding something out, would she act rash?
The only one she seemed really close to was the innkeeper. She didn't very much care for Victor, though Victor, despite having numerous women follow, was rumored to be in relation with her as well.
So if Adeline and the innkeeper ties not, why did the innkeeper say she did not like Adeline or did not trust her?
It's their scheme. They're essentially two peas of a pod. You distrust one, you go to the other one for information. Then they collectively share the information that they have heard throughout the day. They bring it together, and then they go out their separate ways as bitter enemies. But really, if you really know them, they're thick as thieves, is the quote.
I don't suspect that from you and me, but will you come to me if you hear anything?
Of course.
Do I sense he's actually telling me the truth on that? Well, do I get from his body language, how he's saying things, does it seem like he's telling me the truth?
Yeah, you get the sense that he is probably telling you the truth. He wants to protect the count for first and foremost, so any information that could help you guys.
Okay. I would let the walk last a little bit longer, not to draw too much suspicion. And then I said, why don't we go back inside? You can go back to attend to the count, and I'm going to go back to my wife.
Of course. And escort you back inside.
Do I see, are Victor and Adelaide together?
No, they're not together, but they're in the same area. You get the sense that, like, they are, like, make a brains check.
3 out of 4. Do you hear me?
Yeah. No, I heard you. I was trying to think. You get the sense that Victor and Adeline are whenever Victor goes out and does something, Adeline isn't too far behind. Even though like in the kitchen last night, you noticed that Victor was the first to leave the room. Adeline was very close behind him to leave the room in the kitchen, and so therefore you get the sense that Adeline is more of the follower, and Victor is doing something. Like if Victor's walking the grounds, Adeline is pretending to do something else when actually is following him around.
Okay. I want to go over and try to make nice and offer my condolences, and I want to watch their facial expressions.
Sure. You walk over to Adeline, and Adeline just... How can I help you? How may I help you?
I'm sorry, I won't keep you busy for too long. I just wanted to see if there was anything that I could do to help. Not that I've really been watching, but you seemed kind of distant. So I wanted to offer my condolences, and if there's anything that I can do, just please let me know.
I appreciate that, but I work better alone, and so I appreciate the offer, but if I can think of anything, I'll be sure to talk to you about it.
Okay, of course. And I want to kind of like, did she seem like she made any kind of facial expression at all?
Make a brains check. Or a charm. No, make a charm check.
Grr, you had to say it right after I rolled a 4 and a 4. Okay, hang on.
All right.
5 out of 10.
Her facial expressions stayed the same. She just seems to... if anything, you seem to take aback that she was more annoyed that you kind of interrupted her task at hand, which is, you get the sense that she's following Victor around.
Yeah. Okay. And then I'm going to go over to Victor and try to offer my condolences.
Elliot, was it?
Yes, I apologize. I know that you're not very fond of me.
Who said I wasn't fond of you?
You didn't seem to like Americans much.
Let me be frank. I think Americans are boring. They rarely bring anything useful to the table. And I find you guys to be like cockroaches. You guys spread everywhere and yet are very, very annoying to deal with. So I don't hate you. I just rather think you are very annoying.
Yes.
So let me correct you. I don't hate you. I just find you annoying and troublesome.
All right. Thank you for the correction.
Oh, you're welcome.
I just wanted to offer my condolences. It seemed like the two of you were close in the conversation that I was present for, and if there's anything that I can do to help at all, just let me know.
I appreciate it. Me and Aunt Tane were very close. Yeah, I'll just put it like that. And he looks back towards you before kind of walking further onto the grounds.
Okay. And I'll walk back and relay the information.
I'm gonna not say anything because I don't want people to eavesdrop.
Oh, I definitely whispered it.
You get the sense that the four of you are alone. There's nobody around.
You said Victor said him and Attain are close.
Yes, and that we're cockroaches.
I think
Cockroaches?
That's what it thinks about me, but
Yeah.
they're, from what I'm gathering, they weren't close. They're rivals. I mean,
If
in
it
a way, they
wasn't-
could be close, but
Yeah, if it wasn't for the way that he looked when I walked in, I'd almost swear that he did it.
what task was? What do you get the sense of her?
She, as demeaning as it's going to sound, I don't mean it as demeaning as it will come out. She's like his pet. She follows him around, does his bidding, like a henchman or something, or could be henchman, could be just, extremely loyal. But she seemed very annoyed that I came to offer my condolences.
I don't think it's because she's a pet to him. The butler tells me that she hates him.
Why would she follow him around
Maybe.
if she hates him?
Keep an eye on him, maybe.
Suspects him.
Could be. I think if we can figure out what was being searched for, I think we'll have an easier time finding out who may have killed a town and figure this out, because we're still grasping right now.
Right, and by now the weapon's probably hidden.
Mm-hmm.
I think we should search the ground some more.
It was just out there.
There was also a man missing at the table this morning.
Who was that?
I think it was whoever Chris was talking to yesterday.
Oh, yes.
Oh, Lucian? No, he's dead to the world, basically.
Dead to the world or dead?
Apparently he gets like this every night, drinking, and then is not awake until probably like noon, like my wife.
I don't want to go all paranoid.
I'm awake right now.
I
Are
don't want to
you?
get all paranoid, but that's a perfect cover for somebody that doesn't want to be discovered right away. If they were to take care of him.
Ordered his food to his room.
I have a feeling whoever committed this murder wasn't able to get out before the estate was locked down. So I think we should. No offense, Chris. I'm sure you looked around, but I think we need to look more thoroughly. Find the weapon. Find some place that they may have made in a route to avoid detection after the murder. We're gonna need to go over this place with a finer tooth comb.
Then I suggest this: if you're gonna go outside, take a butler that the head butler should trust. Don't be alone.
No, that would be a mistake, because I'm sure whoever committed these crimes knows that we're asking questions and looking around.
We should check the kitchen. Whatever they were doing before, they were doing it in the kitchen.
Let's go get the head butler. Maybe he can shed some light of what's in that room and what's in that kitchen, because somebody, I think, was trying to get in there or got in there.
Why don't you and Elliot go? I'm gonna take my wife to talk.
Okay.
Of course.
Be careful. I'll try to make some more antidote.
And a married couple would look less suspicious than me continuing to wander alone.
I mean, yeah. But
besides, you could still be your sleepyhead. You're so cute that way.
Kara, do you want me to try and find some coffee?
I doubt there's coffee here this day.
Do they have coffee yet? I don't.
Oh yeah, they have coffee here. Coffee's been around for a while.
In France?
Oh yes, I believe Napoleon actually used to drink 50 cups of coffee a day.
Oh.
How did you end up a locksmith?
I don't know.
Okay, we should probably also we each need a butler to escort us, right? Or are we just kind of walking around now?
We should probably go get a butler to help us.
Hire a butler, because I don't want to tell too many people about that room that don't know about it.
Yeah, let's go find the head butler and see if he could come with us to the kitchen.
Yeah. See if I can make we can check out the kitchen a little bit more and maybe make some more antidotes for the count.
I hope it'll be enough. I have a feeling whoever did this may try something other than poison.
We also need to make sure that no more of those herbs have been taken.
Yeah. Something else is in that room. I'm sure of it.
Yeah. I'm gonna make sure that I let Ben know that he kept me in the one area of the apothecary room, that he wouldn't let me through the entire thing.
Okay. We're definitely gonna have to search that place more thoroughly. Let's go. Let's go find the head butler.
So Ben and Elliot are finding the head butler. Chris and Kara, where are you?
I'm bringing her along with me, whether she likes it or not, to go mingle and start listening in and being
I
social.
have the people among the aristocracy.
We'll ask people if there's something coffee here, if the coffee is a thing here.
You need to people this early in the morning. God damn it. Okay.
So, Chris and Kara, you guys go and start wandering around the mansion. Again, not too many people are either awake or they're trying to keep to themselves, trying to. But unlike the other night where there are two groups of threes and group of four, like it's one person here, one person here. They seem to be more keeping by themselves. And strangely enough, as you walk through, you kind of do a head count. Lucian is still not among the people out and about.
Still missing.
If we have the head butler with us, we should probably also check on.
Ask a butler for coffee for my wife if they have it here.
So you walk to a butler who hears the word coffee, goes back, comes back, and literally you watch right in front of you as they pour you a cup of this really dark brown coffee. They hand it to you. You take one sip of it, and it is so strong that like you immediately perk up from just smelling the coffee. Like
that's
they make
espresso.
Thank you. Do I see the innkeeper or Adeline walking around?
Strangely enough, no.
What about the one girl, Mathilde?
She was out wandering the grounds now, but has since gone back inside.
What do you think?
You're asking me what I think? I think we're in over our heads.
You know the weapon. Let's go check the grounds, and you try to see if you can find places it can be stashed, or traces that someone's been hidden.
I mean, a knife that small could easily fit into someone's boot or petticoat or anywhere on their person, let alone be hidden anywhere.
I'm not just meaning the small knife, but the big knife.
No, that's true. We didn't find the cleaver that slit his throat, but yeah, which was like a butcher's cleaver, so that thing is not small.
No.
And not so easily hidden, so yeah, let's go see if we can't find that.
So are you guys going outside?
Yeah.
You guys go outside. A butler is not. You realize that there's like 2 or 3 butlers standing by the doors, and as soon as the 2 of you walk outside, one is walking alongside you. You get the sense that they're there to keep you guys in the grounds. That you guys are not allowed to go beyond the gate. But however, they do respect your privacy, so they always stay about 3 or 4 steps back. As you guys begin searching the grounds, I need Chris and Kara to both make brains check.
Okay.
What did you get, Kara?
I got a 6 out of 10.
6 out of 10. Okay. Chris?
4 out of 4.
4 to 4. Okay. Chris, you notice at first, something in one of the upstairs window catches your eye. You look up and instinctively you touch Kara. So Kara kind of follows your glance up towards the window as you see a figure all of a sudden fall out the window as they come tumbling to the ground. And that's where we're going to end tonight.
Oh
shit.
I want to thank you guys for watching and wanted to tell you guys that as the pages of the Chronicles of the Damned, we close for now. Actually, we're just going to put a bookmark in this. The echoes of your adventure shall linger in the annals of time. May the tales you've woven inspire dreams and kindle the fires of imagination. Until we meet again, remember that the realms of wonder and mystery await your return. We say farewell to the brave travelers until the next chapter unfolds in this ever-changing storybook. Safe journey, and may destiny's embrace guide you onward. Good night, everybody.
Good night.